somebody could just come up, Elder, and then
Okay.
ask questions.
All right. Okay, I want to say shalom to all my brothers and sisters. You doing well? Okay, who was there at the event yesterday? Give the Most High a hand, right? First off, I would like to say all praises be to the Most High, Ahaya, Bahashim Yeshaya Warawak, for the opportunity to come before and gather with my brothers and sisters. I mean, I'm meeting a lot of you for the first time, and it feels like family. The love is overwhelming, the hospitality is overwhelming, and I want to thank you all. So I'm going to give you all a hand myself for your hospitality. I'm standing up here with brothers in the truth with us, and as elders and deacons. Of course, we all know Elder Lawyer. We have Elder Gabar. Y'all give it up. We got Deacon Balas. Shamash Shawan on the end from Colorado. On the far end, the youngest man, a great leader, but the youngest deacon, soon to be elder, Lucius. To my right. And we have my brother that I haven't seen for years, and finally I got a chance to hug him a few months ago. When y'all see on the street the path to the mark, the brother that made all those signs with George Bush coming out of the fire, it was my man here in the dark. Yeah. And it was overwhelming today seeing his daughters. I remember they were babies. A matter of fact, when we was teaching on the street, I mean, I'm looking at my situation. I'm looking at the other elder situations up here who've been operating for years, and how the Most High, even though he brought that sword and divided us from the families that we thought was our families, he resolved and filled that chasm or that void with his family. You understand? And I'm going to tell you, it's full circle for me, because you've heard me give this testimony before, that my mother thought that I was crazy. Now imagine that. Like, boy, hey, you the only one got talent up in this house. And you are a ticket out of here. You know, and she says, listen, you got to get yourself together. You're not like your other brothers. Why don't you go to school? All right, you the only one went to school. Why don't you just do your music career, and everything is going to be all right. Do all this after we get the money. He said, you've been singing all your life, and the opportunity comes where you can actually do something for yourself, and you're just going to put a towel on your head? What, you a Muslim? I said, Mom, you just don't understand. I love you, and, you know, there's nothing against you. I always love you. But, you know, I have to take this road. I have to take this road. And, man, everyone has a testimony. All the brethren in here. Man, one of the greatest testimonies fell upon us today amongst the brothers. Like I say, we all have different stories. And I'll tell you, as I pass the mic to each and every man, if I had the opportunity today, that's before you, they would give you stories that would blow you away. And I'm sure if I passed the mic out there to each and every individual, we would hear stories that would blow us away. But man, Balas, out of nowhere, contacted me one day and says, Elder Ricard, I got this pastor. His name is Peterson. He'd be on CNN or whatever the case is. Do you want to come through? I'm thinking about giving some events, and maybe you can stimulate this by coming here and having this conversation with Mr. Lee Peterson. Mind you, before this, I never really heard of the brother, but I did it for the brother. You know, he reached out, Balas, and said, do it. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to support the work and meet my family in Vegas. Right? But I'm going to show you how the Most High bring things around full circle. Balas, which is doing the work of the Most High. His father, which he haven't seen in over 2 decades, was separated from him due to social ills and all the things we were talking about in that particular debate yesterday about the father not being there, the son, and all these other dynamics, and how that's indicative of a nation without a father. We're not even looking at it on that level. You have fatherless people amongst Israel because Israel is fatherless. And as soon as we begin to come back to the Most High, he brings the union. Now check this out. His father was on the news, fell down on, on his what they would call luck for a while. Never thought that he would probably see his son again from one state to the next. They haven't seen each other for 2 decades. The same Balas here. While Balas was doing the work, the Most High was doing something else. Next thing you know, his father was on TV as someone living homeless or living on the outside, not having anything, but he was playing the trumpet as a musician and was getting recognized by the regular media. So all in all, it came out that the man that Balas didn't see in 2 decades, that was his father on the TV. A brother went in the church and went from one shelter in one place to the next looking for him because he heard about the story with Balas and found him. We was on our way here and Balas called while we was in the car and said, you know what? I think my father just walked up. Now check that out. He's doing the work. I'm going to tell you something. You all want to see these testimonies that's going to come out very soon. Because what Balas did with this was really spiritually groundbreaking. Right before our discourse last night, I would like to call it that. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what it was. Right? Right before that, Balas had a scenario where the elders were getting interviewed concerning their life that led to where we are today. And these are the pieces. I'm going to give them just a little window into this, how the Most High is resolving it. Right? Resolving this issue we have about father and son. By us coming back to him, he's bringing family tighter, giving family purpose, giving us the understanding of what we need to do. Right? Man, speaking to Nadar. Nadar called me the other day from California. He says, Elder Ricard Shiar, he said, Ricard, man, I just want to thank you. I'm like, brother, I want to thank you. He says, no, I want to thank you, man. He says, because when you came back and you spoke to me, man, you said, just go. Because when I spoke to Nadar, he was like, man, I don't know, man. I don't know where to begin, where to start. I'm like, brother, go. I'm going to give somebody your phone number. I'm going to get you together, and you just go to them. The Most High is going to clear up. The Most High God, Ahaya, is going to clear up what you need to do. Because I remember the brother speaking with passion, with truth and understanding that only could come from the Most High. And I knew that if he began to come around the body, it would all come back. And you know what? It came back. He didn't miss a step. And you know what? The people in California was waiting for him the whole time anyway. So I thank the Most High that the Most High brought the brother back. Yesterday in the interviews right before the discourse, we had a sister interviewing people and a brother interviewing Gabar in one hotel. And where's the sister that did the interview? I heard she did a great job. You can stand up, sister. Give the sister a round of applause for her. Thank you. She did a great job in interviewing the elders, asking certain questions concerning what led them to what we see today. And I heard she was objective. She was more so like a reporter side, so I'm glad she has those skills. We have many skills amongst the body that's untapped, but that was good to see. But anyway, a revelation happened. And I don't care if Jesse Peterson accepts it or not. He was listening to Lawyer's testimony of how Lawyer got the truth. And don't forget, she was just asking Lawyer questions, but Mr. Jesse was listening intensely. Because why? His whole stick or area of expertise with his antidote is we need an answer for young men who don't have fathers in the home. But the revelation to him, whether he wanted to accept it or not, the answer to those young men is the Most High. And that was the testimony. That's what he witnessed when hearing Elder Lawyer. Because why? Lawyer was breaking down everything. I was a young man. I came in the truth. I just followed the Spirit. I learned. I traveled the world. I went over to Egypt, and even an Egyptian came out and said, I know you're the sons of Jacob. And once you are in charge, can you make me a governor? He told us that before. And I didn't know Lawyers was going to say all this in the testimony. But Jesse Peterson was sitting back looking like, and then they asked about his family. And then Lawyer says, yeah, I grew up. My father wasn't around like that. I've seen him, but he wasn't around. And that was actually a revelation to Jesse Peterson. And you know what? He seen a young man who didn't blame his father, but loved his father and forgave his father. And you understand? And he seen a young man who did what? Not blame his father so that the next generation would be cursed. A young man who would stand up and strengthen his father's legacy and change the curse. See, they want us blaming each other for our circumstance. Because why? If we blame each other, we can always go to the government and say, well, I have an antidote. Give me some money so I can try it my way. But in the midst of him hearing Lawyer's testimony, tears came to his eyes. Because why? He was thinking about himself. And really what's feeding the spirit that's going on with him, because he was a brother that was operating without a father in the house. And it totally shifted his view concerning everything. But the answer is in the book. And that's why I was trying to get that brother in the book last night. Now, Balaz, where your father at? Is he still here or did he leave? Stand up, sir. Found him. 20 years. See that? We got to praise the Most High. Come on. Praise the higher. I'm going to tell you, 20 years sound like a long time. But we keep on saying this. One day with the Lord is as 1,000 years. It was just yesterday that Balaz this brother here was ripped from his father because of the circumstances of what happens with the courts and all these other things. And you know what? As soon as I seen his father, I see that a weight is lifted off of the brother. And he said, well, I asked him, I'm like, sir, did you ever thought you would see this moment? That's what I asked him. He'll tell you. He said, you know what? No. He never thought he would see the moment where he would be reunited with his son. He said, no. He said, but guess what? The last I seen him, I told him, doesn't matter what happens, know at the end of this that I've always loved you and I will love you, and I do love you. Just imagine walking 2 decades with all that in your heart concerning your seed and thinking that you'll never have the opportunity to make it right. And the Most High did it. You know why? Because when Balas got the understanding and truth, you know what he did? He did the work. He was baptized. He killed the old man. Which harbor that resentment and guilt, all the things, the seeds of Satan that would have you hate your own mother and father and have variances. He buried all that and loved his father anyway. And because he served the living Father, the Most High brought his father back. Man, there's so many stories. Did I ever think that I would be sitting here? I mean, Elder Gabar, hey, look what we came out of. All right? Look what we came out of. Myself and Elder Gabar, you talking about some, I'm talking about a raunchy type of doctrine. I'm talking about, you know, people reverberate. They'll walk across the street just to get away from the vibration that's going on because the sidewalks is shaking. Well, I mean, we was just spiritual malcontents on the corner. I remember those days. Another nation come up to me, right? Asian or whatever case. You go ahead, you Moab. Yeah, you Moabite. Yeah. Even though we were wrong on that too. Get out of here, go make some chicken and rice. We were just saying all types of crazy stuff. Just derogatory, disrespecting. Oh, the white man, now get out of here. Da, 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 da. This is where we came from. Right? But you know what? That wasn't the spirit we went in with. We were taught that. We wanted Christ when we first got the truth. We, in respect of us learning we were Israel, we took on the other things from the spirit of, from those who were dealing with the spirit of Pharisee. And the Most High changed us. I mean, I could go on and on. I have some stories all of you would believe I'm up here embellishing or exaggerating. And I'll tell you, brothers and sisters, 9 times out of 10, when I tell you some of these stories, I'm leaving something out. It was so crazy. But it led us to this point. I wouldn't change a thing. I didn't think that I'd be sitting next to Nadar after not seeing him for how long, Nadar? 10 years. I never thought that I'd be sitting next to him as a brother, and especially doing the work again. And I know we all have these particular stories, right? Man, see, I know I'm just ranting right now, but this is therapy for me. You understand? I'm telling you, I love the word, I love the truth, I love going into precepts, but you know what? One thing I learned in being in those pharisaical suits, groups that one group I was under in the 90s, it taught me that when Christ says we can't be many masters or be lords over the Most High's flock, that means be tyrants and make people think they have to serve you and make people think that you are the boss and you telling them what to do, because I went through that. I'm like, if the Most High ever give me the opportunity to teach, I'm going to teach as a servant. I'm never going to have brothers and sisters experience what I went through. And I didn't know if he would give me the opportunity. But I'm not going to become a Lord over the Most High's flock. He's the Lord. You understand? And that's the spirit that emanates from this truth. When I come and see y'all and talk with y'all and hug y'all, and when I see y'all and y'all were like, hey, can I get a hug? That's real love. Okay? A lot of people I've never met show real love and extend their love in appreciation for the work. And it does a lot for me, because guess what? This truth, and you all, believe it or not, is a revelation for me. You all are a revelation. I never thought that it could be like this. And if someone told me this was going to happen 10, 15 years ago, I would have told them that it's a lie. Now, that's my testimony. I got that off. But man, seeing this thing come around full circle, Balaz's father comes back, and I'm sitting here with my brethren, my family. Man, life couldn't be better. Right? Now, there's a few things that I didn't have an opportunity to go into last night that I wanted to go into, right? And I thought that we would use that scenario last night for a teaching moment today. I had something entirely prepared, but I'm like, you know what? Let me not go that route. Let me operate in the spirit, just talk to my brothers and sisters. And opposed to just having an all-out, just a lesson, why don't we have a conversation where we have microphones? How many times you see us on Ustream or looking at us on class, and y'all have questions, and it may be overlooked because of the chat, is overflowing. Well, guess what? There is no chat. The chat is right here. Anything you need to know, ask questions concerning, or your own testimony or comments, this is where we begin to interact and know you. I thought that would be what you would call a great place to start here in Vegas, right? Now, how many of you here, you were with Prophet Jerry? Now, we contended with those, y'all brothers. Prophet Jerry didn't believe that Christ was the Savior. Hold up, get this brother a mic. Come on now. Hey. See that? Look at this here. Don't tell me this is a small world, isn't it? Now, Prophet Jerry, we used to contend against those guys all the time. There's no Jesus, there's no Christ. I'm like, well, listen, okay, if he don't exist, why are we talking? Are you trying to convince me? And I get, you know what? That leads us into what I'm about to go into, actually. What's your name, brother?
Eric.
So are you from Philadelphia?
Yes. I was born in New York, and I didn't understand that. All my mom people used to go in the summertime and go back to Philadelphia. So then we moved when I was about 11 years old. Then it hit me, like, this is where my mom was from. Started to go to church. But because I was from New York, I didn't know all of the ways you have to be in the church and everything. And so I used to always feel like, just say we need to get baptized. Why are we not getting baptized? And they'd just be like, young boy, you need to study. You need to do some more study.
Yeah.
So then later on, I had two uncles.
And I admired it. But just like he said, we didn't go in with that spirit. I understood that there was something wrong with it, but as a young man, I couldn't contend with them in the scriptures, so it wasn't much that I could do about it. But as I kind of progressed in the Spirit and came to a level where I learned what Christ actually was, I was able to dispel that. And this brother gave me, when I was a younger man, just some intellectual talking points that would allow me to further in the Spirit. And man, we stood up against that spirit together, brother.
Yeah.
Big time.
I remember when the Muslims came and one dude pulled out a knife talking about, he talking about, look what I got here. And I'm like, listen, brother, listen, believe me, you're going to have the time to deal with that. But then I remember we came up, stood up there, and the other group, Tazadakia from Israeli, who they call it, the one who called himself the Comforter. They come running up with red and white, and guess who was there sitting there reading for me when I was up there teaching a young man? It was this brother right here. It was him right there. Right?
I was a lot skinnier then, though.
Yeah. I used to call him Will Smith Jr. But it's like, man, the Most High brought us so far. You understand? And man. And that leads us to what I'm about to go into. Because hopefully, no, I'm not going to be long. I got you. We got an Iskarite that want to say something. I got you. We're going to hear all your testimonies today. I'm not going to stop until we hear what you have to say today. Right? But what we wanted you to say, what we want you to understand in this testimony that we're having, that's a revelation to me. The only place you can find what's going on with this church is when you read the Bible, when you read the book of Acts. When you read what the disciples went through against all the other Israelites, because it was the new thing. It was the new wine, the new understanding. And this doctrine was so much out of the box compared to what Jews were used to with their traditions. And how the gospel was being taken to different areas and being left in different areas. And once the churches were established, letters were sent back and forth. Now we have conversations back and forth with different churches around the earth. And that's the revelation to me. And when I look at what's going on with this church, with all of you, just all over the world, I say to myself, you know what? This church is doing the gospel of Christ. I'm going to tell you. It's like the gathering of Christ Church is enemy 101 throughout the earth, even in conversation amongst the circumcision or the Jews or the Israelites. Why? Because we don't hate, we love. We don't harbor resentment, we forgive. Right? We don't waste our time attacking and going against others. We just teach truth. And above all, we exalt the only God of all gods, Ahaya. You see that? So that's why we get so much pushback. Right? Now, what I'm going to do before I open it up for you, I don't know if you want to say something, Elder Gabar? Elder Lloyd? All right. In respect to my elders, my brothers, I'm going to go into a few things, right? So that you'll have the precepts to deal with this misunderstanding according to the law or circumcision. And I'm going to show you how the churches are confusing those particular scriptures. I'm going to break something down for you so that you'll have the knowledge and understanding to contend when people come like Jesse Peterson or those that might come who are of the circumcision who are Israelites. Why? You would hear the churches say, what? The law's done away with. You're not under the law. Not realizing where they get that from. Right? So I wanted to piggyback off of that discussion last night before I go into it and talk about it, so that you can get some understanding in discoursing or convincing those who are saying that we don't have to follow the law, we're under grace. First of all, when it says we can't follow the letter of the law, the Christians are confused concerning what that letter is. That letter is not speaking, it's good. That letter is not speaking about the Old Testament laws. What letter is it speaking about? Well, you have to realize when our people were operating, and I'm going to give an example of that. When our people were operating after the fall of Babylon, when we fell to the Babylonians, a rabbinical institution was set up outside of the Most High's priesthood. And that's where you see the teachers, the rabbis, and the Jewish people following tradition or Talmudic tradition and interpreting the Bible through those traditions. So instead of interpreting the Bible as it is written or through the Spirit of Christ, they were interpreting the Old Testament strictly through the rabbis' writings or letters. So it wasn't talking about the Old Testament, and that's where the Christians are being confused. When Paul says, it's not according to the letter. Because why? Paul was a Pharisee, and they were dealing with the writings of the rabbis to translate all of the Old Testament. Now, here it is. I'm going to give you an example. Right? Let's give an example. I'm going to show y'all something real quick. Let's get the one about the washing of hands with the food. I'm going to give you one example about this real quick. It's just a teacher, just something I wanted to show you real quick that I didn't have a chance to go into with Mr. Peterson interrupting me every 5 seconds. I'm like, see, you're doing it again. But I wanted to show him that, he was confused, not understanding. He was erring. He dealt with error, not understanding the scripture. Right? Let's get it real quick, Elder Lloyd.
Yes, sir.
Read it.
St. Matthew chapter 15, verse 1.
Give me the ones you have.
Then came to Yeshua scribes and Pharisees, which were of Jerusalem, saying, Why do thy disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? For they wash not their hands when they eat bread.
Now you see that? They came to Christ and asked what? And said what?
Why do thy disciples transgress the tradition of the
Why
elders?
do they transgress the tradition of the elders? Read.
For they wash not their hands when they eat bread.
For they wash not their hands when they eat bread. Now I'm going to ask any of you, have you ever seen a law in the Old Testament as Israelites that say that you must wash hands before you eat bread? Is that a law? No. That was a writing, a tradition that man made law. So when Paul was saying we're not under the law, but under grace, he was talking about the laws that they instituted through their traditions. It wasn't talking about the Most High's law. I'm going to prove it. See, and this is what we have to show the Christians, because the Christians are taught, well, we're not under the law, we're under grace, therefore throw away the Old Testament. When Paul wasn't talking about throwing away the Old Testament, he made a distinction between the two. Because why? Paul was an expert at both the tradition and the law. He was a Pharisee, so he understood the difference. He says, listen, when you come up in our church, we're going to follow the law according to Christ, how it was intended from the beginning when it was given. And we're going to X your traditions. We're going to throw out your traditions. When they came to Moses and asked Moses, when they asked Christ about Moses, well, Moses gave us a bill of divorce. What do you say, Christ? What did Christ answer and say? Well, guess what? That was set in there by Moses for the hardness of your hearts. Moses made that tradition for those circumstances to keep peace in the wilderness. But in the beginning, it wasn't so. He was setting it right. He was dividing the traditions that were added from what the Most High gave Moses from the beginning. Do y'all understand this? See, and that's why the Jewish people are so hush concerning what they believe and what they follow. They'll lie and have you believe that they follow the Torah, but really, they follow the Torah through rabbinical, Talmudic traditions and interpretations. That's what Christ was attacking. That's what the disciples were attacking. Right? So this is how we can bring our brothers and sisters in Christianity out of it concerning them breaking the law on purpose and saying, listen, it wasn't talking about when it says the letter. It wasn't talking about the Old Testament and the Tanakh. It was talking about traditions. The traditions of the Jews. Right? Let's get it, Elder. You can come in anytime also, Elder Gabar. 2 Corinthians 3. Romans 2 and 27.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Read it for me, please.
Okay. We in 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 1. We're going to start at verse 1 and we're going to go to up to verse 6.
Yes.
Do we begin again to command ourselves, or need we some other epistle of the commandment to you, or letter of the commandments from you?
Or letter of the commandments from you. Now, when you look at this word letter and break it down in the Strongs, let me show you what it says here. I have it right here. 2 Corinthians, you at 3 and 1, right?
Huh.
What verse you are when it says the letters?
Verse 2, verse 3.
The writings.
The writings.
Read it.
Ye are our epistle, written in our hearts, know and read of all men. Where?
No, I need that last piece about the writings. Read the letters.
The letters, okay.
Yeah, read it.
Okay, we're going back to verse 1.
Yeah.
Do we begin again to commend ourselves, or need we, as some others, epistle of commendation to you, or letters of commendation from you?
Or letters from commendation from you. Read.
For ye are our epistle, written in our hearts, know and read of all men. For as much as ye are ministry, declared to be the epistle of Christ, ministered by us, written not with ink, but with the Spirit of the living God.
Go on. Written not with ink, but the Spirit of the living God. The Christians will tell you, well, it's not written with the ink of the Old Testament, but I'm being guided by the Spirit. That's what you was hearing yesterday. Him not realizing that ink he was speaking of were the traditions given by the Jews to interpret the Old Testament. Read. Let me show you.
Not in tables of stones, but in fleshly tables of the heart. And such trust have we through Christ, the God-word. Not that we are sufficient of ourselves to think anything as of ourselves, but our justification,
Go on.
is of God, who also has made us able minister of a New Testament, not of the letter.
Not of the what?
Not of the letter.
Chapter and verse.
We in 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 6.
Now check it out. It says, not of the letter, brothers and sisters. Elder Lawyer, that letter, what does that say there?
It says, grammar, G1121. A writing.
A writing, and it also goes into plural, learning, build, learning. Get right here.
Writing, written.
A writing or something written. It was speaking of traditions. Right? It was speaking of traditions, letters. Now I'm going to go into those traditions in one moment. This is what it says out of the Talmud. Read that real quick, Elder Lawyer. From the Talmud. This is what the Jewish people interpret the Old Testament through. Read.
The Talmud has two components: the Mishnah, a written compendium of Rabbinic Judaism's oral Torah, and the Gemara, an elucidation of the Mishnah in related Tanaic writings that often ventures onto other subjects.
It often ventures unto what?
Other subjects, and expounds broadly in the Hebrew Bible. Talmud translate literally into as instruction in Hebrew, and the term may refer to either the Gemara alone or the Mishnah and Gemara together.
So when you hear a Jewish person say, well, I don't only follow the Torah, I follow the Mishnah, and I follow these other records within the Talmud that's directed to give interpretation of the Torah. These are the writings they really follow. They don't believe the Bible at all. Zero. So when it says the letter killeth, what letter was it talking about? It was speaking of the letters from the synagogue of Satan. Right? Now, Christians out there don't understand at all what's going on with the Jewish people and how they interpret the Old Testament and throw all of it out together. It's up to us as students to show the brothers and sisters the difference. Now, there's more. Where are you at, Elder?
What is more on 6? Let me finish up.
Read.
It says, for also have made us able ministers of the New Testament.
Made us able ministers of the New Testament. Read.
Not of the letter.
Not of the letter, not of the writings. Read.
But of the Spirit.
But of the Spirit. So we'll interpret the scriptures how it was originally intended. Right? From the Spirit. Read.
For the letter killeth, but the Spirit gives life.
But the letter killeth, but the Spirit gives life. So we are to interpret the words of Moses through who? The Spirit of Christ. That's how it works. We follow the law, but through the Spirit of Christ. On the other hand, the Jewish people follow the law, but under the spirit of who? Satan. Through those writings. Right? So that's the law that killeth. Right? Go ahead, Elder Gabar. Come on.
Now we're in Romans chapter 2 verse, we're going to pick it up at 28.
Come on. Start at 27.
27. For shall not uncircumcision, which is by nature, if it is fulfilled the law, judge thee, how by the letter and circumcision does transgress the law. For he is not a Jew which one outwardly, neither is that circumcision which is outwardly in the flesh. But he is a Jew which is one inwardly, and circumcision is of the heart, in the spirit, and not of the letter. Those praise ye not of men, but of God. See that? It's speaking of the traditions. So you're not a Jew outwardly because you're following these traditions. As you can see, the Jewish people have a certain way they must dress, what they must have on, what type of hat they have, the cube on their head. These are all interpretations and writings of how they interpret the what? The Old Testament. Go on. And also, when you go and jump into verse chapter 3, that's why he went into, and remember, these chapters were added much later. So these epistles was one thought. So if you pick it up from verse 29 of the 2nd chapter, then he says what? What advantage then has a Jew, or what profit is there in circumcision? Much every way, chiefly because that unto them were given the oracles. What are the oracles? The laws.
The laws
of the Most High. So there is advantage. So, but you can't approach the oracles through the letter the commentary, you got to approach it through the Spirit of Christ.
Exactly.
So the letter is not the laws of Moses. You guys understand that? The letter is what the rabbis was passing down to the community and said, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. They were reading these notes, these epistles. It's not through those letters. It's not through those traditions. It's through the Spirit of Christ. You guys understand that? Okay.
Exactly. And going into that, dealing with the tradition, you notice most Israelites, when you come into this truth, it's more so about what? The outward view of what they deem an Israelite is. How long is your beard?
Measurements.
Is your head covered or is your head uncovered? All the little things when their heart hasn't been changed. And see, and that's what Christ wants us to deal with. Being an Israelite is not just following a tradition. And see, and that's what the Christians have correct. Now, what the Christians have incorrect, they go so far left with it that they don't follow no law at all. They just dealing with the Spirit. You see? So we have to show either side where they're missing the mark. We're not to break the law. You understand? But we're not to follow the law through strictly or strict what? Traditions. We are to follow the law through Christ. And that's what I was trying to relay to the brother. Right? Because why? Think about what was going on yesterday, and I'm going to go into it. This man has a base for almost 3 decades helping young men without fathers. A lot of these young men come from broken homes and are homosexuals and dealing with a lot of, the black man is between the crosshairs. Same as the black woman. So he's getting a lot of broken men coming under his tutelage. So my question to him was, brother, okay, all right. I know you mean better, but you have to show a homosexual that a homosexual is wrong according to the law. Or whatever the ills are, according to the law. But he can't teach that piece of it. Why? He was taught in the Christian church that the law is done away with and the law killeth. So how is he going to help a young man who needs the law? Y'all see where we're going at here? So we have on one side, we have an extreme with Israelites who just deal with traditions and just trying to force you to see the law their way. And on the other side, we have Christians who don't want to follow the law at all. Hence, the gathering of Christ Church. You understand? We must stand with Christ and teach Christ on either side and bring them to the path. That's the mission. Right? You have anything else, Elder Gabar?
No, that's good.
Now, let me go back to the traditions real quick. Let's get Matthew 11 real quick. Where we left off at. Matthew 15. Right?
Yes, sir.
And hold that, get 2 Thessalonians 2 and 15. You have it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's start at Christ first. Right? Let's go.
St. Matthew chapter 15, verse 1. Then came to Yeshua scribes and Pharisees, which were of Jerusalem, saying...
Now, for those who don't know who Yeshua is, that's Savior in the Hebrew. That's Jesus Christ's true name, according to the Hebrew. Read.
Verse 2. Why do thy disciples transgress the tradition of the elders?
Come on.
For they wash not their hands when they eat bread. But he answered and said unto them, Why do ye also transgress the commandment of God by your tradition?
But why do you transgress the commandments of God by your traditions? God didn't give you these traditions about washing hands. You added that, right? And made that a law and forced that on my people. God didn't give us that law at the Mount about washing your hands before you eat bread. You added that. So we talking about Christians adding things. Guess what? Jews added more than Christians. That's where all this confusion is coming from. That's why Christians are confused, based on what the Jewish people added through their traditions. Read.
Verse 4.
Come on.
For God commanded, saying, Honor thy father and mother, and he that curseth father or mother, let him die the death.
Come on.
But ye say, Whosoever shall say to his father or his mother, It is a gift, by whosoever thou mightest be profited by me, and honor not his father or mother, he shall be free.
See that? So, what was going on? The Pharisees and scribes added a tradition in which they could take bribes outside of the commandments of the Most High, and made it a tradition to keep their pockets fat. So Christ was calling them out. We're saying, well, no, you making up your own laws so that what? You can sell your tradition. The same way yesterday we were sitting next to a man who didn't have a Bible and was selling his book, The Antidote. You're right, because why? The Bible stands alone, right? You don't have to get another book with the Bible. But guess what? This is why the Jewish people say, well, listen, everyone can have what Moses received, but if we put our own little spin on it, this is what we'll sell. Christ came to straighten it out, because our people was doing what? Our people, Israel, was getting taken advantage of, not just by the Pharisees and scribes. I mean, the Edomite powers that were set up over the Sanhedrin, but our people. It was our people going into Israel, setting new standards outside of what Moses gave us, right? So Christ is setting the record straight between the letters and what? And traditions, opposed to what the Most High gave Moses. Everything the Most High gave Moses was right. We just didn't follow it. Therefore, what happened? Other laws had to get instituted for what? The laws you break. Now we have books piled up from the floor to the ceiling. Why? Because there's laws based on the penalties of breaking the law. But if we follow all 10 commandments, if we follow the 10, there will be no need for the rest of it if we follow them. See? Come on.
Verse 6. Thus have ye made the commandment of God of none effect by your tradition.
Your traditions have destroyed what the Most High God gave Moses. So Christ wasn't against the law. He was against what? The traditions. Come on.
Verse 7. Ye hypocrites, well did Isaiah prophesy of you, saying, This people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth, and honoreth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men.
Teaching what?
For doctrines the commandments of men.
Teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. See? This is when you ask a person, well, where do you get this from? Well, my heart. Where? Is it in the law, what God gave us? No, it's in my heart. That's the doctrine and commandments of men. Read.
Verse 10. And he called the multitude and said unto them,
Come on.
Hear and understand. Not that which goeth into the mouth defileth a man, but that which cometh out of the mouth.
Now, you know what? Christ could have washed his hands. He could have had the disciples wash their hands. But he made a public showing. You know what he did? He got the multitude together and said, you know what? What goeth out of a man defileth a man, not what comes in. And you know what they did? He put his hand in the disciples, and they went inside that dish with dirty hands and ate. You know why? Because he says, listen, this is not more filthy than the tradition you're pushing on my people. What's coming out of your mouth, which is your traditions, is soiling and destroying my people. Not me not washing my hands. I'm not going to appease you. And by doing that publicly, what was he doing? He was disrespecting their authority before the world. And don't forget, these would be your modern day city councils, your modern day institutionalized government officials, your Jesse Jacksons, all these that had prestige before Christ came on the scene. So they said, you know what? If we don't lay hands on and kill this man and destroy him, the Romans are going to take away our power, our position that the Romans given us. Let's conspire and kill him off. He's disrespecting us and everything we set up. Right? Setting up their own righteousness. Besides following the righteousness of the Most High, right? Come on.
Elder Lawyer, real quick, can you go back to 2 Corinthians chapter 3 real quick? I just want to add something, land back what Elder was saying.
Come on. What time is it? Where you at, Elder?
2 Corinthians chapter 3. We're going to pick it up at verse 8 real quick. Elder Lawyer, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir. Verse 8?
Yep.
2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 8. How shall not the ministration of the Spirit be rather glorious? For if the ministration of condemnation be glory, how much more doeth the ministration of righteousness exceed in glory?
So the reason why Paul addressed the Old Testament with the ministration of condemnation is because why? You will be put to death if you break these laws, right? Can you read it?
Verse 10. For even that which was made glorious had no glory in this respect, by reason of the glory that excelleth.
So he was saying, even that, that's okay, I gotta
Go on.
even though, we said, even though that administration, it was glorious, it was not glorious in this respect, in this aspect, right? He's referring to the Old Testament, the way the Jews were following that time. Read.
Verse 11. For if that which is done away was glorious, much more that which remaineth is glorious.
He's going to explain that. Read.
Verse 12. Seeing then that we have such hope, we use great plainness of speech.
Come on.
And not as Moses, which put a veil over his face, that the children of Israel could not steadfastly look to the end of that which is abolished.
So when Moses came down speaking with the Most High, his appearance was so great, he had to put a veil. So Paul was using as an example, when you put a veil over somebody's face, sometimes it's difficult for you to understand what he's saying. Right? So keep reading.
Verse 14.
Come on.
But their minds were blinded. For until this day remaineth the same veil untaken away.
That veil is not the law, is the understanding the law through Moses. Right? Read.
Come on.
Until this day remaineth the same veil untaken away in the reading of the Old Testament.
You see that? So it's making a separation between the reading of the Old Testament and the veil. The veil means the understanding, the point of view, the way they're looking at the Old Testament. They're looking at it from a veil. That Moses, and he gave the example when Moses came down from Mount Sinai with that veil. Read.
Which veil is done away in Christ.
Come on.
Go on.
Verse 15. But even unto this day, when Moses is read, the veil is upon their heart.
So even today, when they're reading the Torah in the synagogue, they're still viewing it from Moses' point of view, not Christ. You guys see that? Okay, keep reading.
Verse 16. Nevertheless, when it shall turn to the Lord, the veil shall be taken away.
See that? Keep reading.
17. Now the Lord is that Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty.
Come on.
But we all, with the open face, beholdeth as in a glass the glory of the Lord,
Come on.
are changed into the same image from glory to glory, even as by the Spirit of the Lord.
See that spirit, you got to follow the law through the spirit of Christ. Follow him. You guys understand that? Okay. That's it.
And I'm glad Elder Gabar brought that out about that veil that Moses would have to put over his face to stand before the Most High. And for those that are reading the Old Testament and not understanding Christ, that veil is still there, where they just see what's written without understanding what is written. Like a lot of you, what I see, if people want to contend or say they got a better truth than you, they will try to ask you, well, are you following this law? Or are you following that law? They're looking for a fault in you to say that you're not following the Most High correctly. And that's why Paul dealt with what? The liberty that we have within the law. So that a man can't put me under binds concerning his view of what I need to be as a child of the Most High. You understand? I'm not going to stand before him in judgment at the end. So this man judging me and looking at me on the outside and making coming up with a conclusion concerning my righteousness, it's to no avail. How many of you see that people may look at you and say, well, you're a Hebrew. Well, do you follow all the law? Or why you ain't doing this? Or why you're not doing that? Welcome to the party. This is what they did to Christ. And you're going to find this amongst Hebrews, amongst Israelites. Right? Now, it's a few other things I wanted to talk about, but I'm sure we cleared up the difference between the letter and what's written in the Old Testament. Y'all can see the difference, correct? So when someone say or talk about the traditions, the first thing you think in your mind is what? The Midrash, the Talmud, all the other writings that Jewish people use to interpret our book. We don't need those writings. We can go read it and follow it as it is written. Right? Okay. Now let's get into the real good stuff. You got one more? And I need you, when you get that, get John 11 and 48 for me. And we're going to end it with that, and then I'm going to talk to the people here. Ready? What you have, Elder Lloyd?
Matthew 7 and 28.
Come on.
St. Matthew chapter 7, verse 28 through 29. And it came to pass when Yeshua had ended these sayings, the people were astonished at his doctrine.
They was astonished at his doctrine. Why? Because his doctrine wasn't coming through the tradition of men.
That's right.
Read.
For he taught them as one having authority, and not as the scribes.
Not as the scribes. Come on.
Sit on that.
Get Colossians 2 and 8. And let's get John 11 and 48. John 11 and 47. Okay. All right. You have it? Colossians 2 and 8. Read.
Colossians chapter 2, verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy.
Through philosophy. That's a man giving his opinion outside of the word of the Most High God. They philosophize, giving to you what's out of their heart, what they think. Read.
In vain deceit, after the tradition of men.
And there it is again. Christ was tearing down what? The Jewish traditions. And see, and that's why the Jewish people hate Christ. They feel that he came on the scene and disrespected their rabbis, their masters, by doing away with their traditions. Read.
After the rudiments of the world.
After the rudiments of the world.
And not after Christ.
And not after Christ. See that? So what happened? Christ came on the scene and said, listen, our people can follow the Most High without these crooked leaders, without these crooked pastors and crooked teachers. So what did those teachers get together and do? Hold that and get John 11 and 47. They all got together and said, you know what? Let's have a meeting on this Jew, on this Christ. They had a council. Because why? The people were leaving the synagogues and coming out in droves to follow the truth of Christ, this new wine, this new understanding. Okay, the Dar have something there? Okay, the Pharisees under the Roman Empire, you read of them in the New Testament. What does it say about the Pharisees?
Pharisaic beliefs became the foundational, liturgical, and ritualistic basis for rabbinic Judaism.
See that? Go on. So the rabbinical Judaism is all Pharisaical. There's nothing about the Old Testament they're really following according to what was given to Moses. Nothing. Right? Come on. Let's get John 11 and 47. Come on.
St. John chapter 11, verse 47.
Come on.
Then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees a council and said, what do we? For this man doeth many miracles. If we let him thus alone,
if we leave this man alone, read,
all men will believe on him.
Everyone is going to believe on him. What are we to do about this guy, Christ, this Yeshua, this son of Joseph? If we don't do anything, if we don't intervene, they're going to leave us. Now, mind you, people were leaving the synagogues and coming to learn under Christ. The same way today, as you can see with the truth, a lot of us came out of where? The Christian church. Right? So they all get together, they all congregate and say, well, listen, what are we going to do about this? This phenomenon, we can't contend with them. They know the Bible. What are we to do? So this is what happened back then during the time of Christ. Read.
And the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation.
Read it again.
If we let him, Salakia, verse 48. Mm-hmm. If we let him thus alone.
If we leave him alone, if we do nothing, read.
All men will believe on him.
All men will believe on him. Then what?
And the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation.
The Romans are going to cut us off financially. The Romans are going to take their money and put it where they see the people are. They're going to cut us off if we have no influence. The Romans were controlling our people through the Pharisaical sect and the Sanhedrin. That was the political control over Judea. So the Romans are going to be like, okay, if you can't deliver me the people, if they can't follow what I'm giving you, why am I giving you money? Why am I establishing you? These were your politicians, your sellouts. Read.
Verse 49.
Come on.
And one of them, named Caiaphas, being then the high priest that same year, said unto them.
Said what?
Ye know nothing at all.
You know nothing at all in this room conspiring against this man. Read.
Nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man should die for the people, that the whole nation perish not.
Don't you realize he's the one that must come and die so that we live? He says, all of you in your traditions have left off from the prophecies concerning this man. They said he would come. He's here. So they're so busy worried about their own pockets, their own money, and all that, not realizing the Savior was born and was teaching amongst them. He says, you know nothing at all. Read.
Nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man should die for the people, and that the whole nation perish not. And this spake he not of himself, but being high priest that year, he prophesied that Yeshua should die for that nation.
Check that out in this council. So that means all the priests The whole council, before they killed Christ, knew he was Savior. Man, I couldn't imagine standing in that meeting and being amongst this conversation without fear. I'm like, listen, bro, I'm down. Listen, I'm out of here. Okay? And you know, when I think about this, I like to use real-time scenarios that we can relate to and say, okay, I can understand it. When I think about this, I think about little things like when Malcolm X was on the scene and didn't want to follow the influence of the Nation of Islam anymore and realized there was something greater out there, reading out of the Bible, saying that he was from the violence, the raw bones and all that. And how all of the fruit of Islam got together and said, you know what? And we don't leave him alone. He's going to take over. He's the one that got all the people here anyway. Hey, we got to kill him. Because if we don't kill him, then the government is going to take away our power. They're not going to allow us to do this. And that's why they pulled Malcolm in the room right before he left off and say, you shouldn't have said that about JFK. Malcolm was like, John F. Kennedy, you know, chickens come on the roost. I thought the white man, I thought you were saying he was the devil. Well, the people really like JFK. So are you down with the Romans? You have me out here on the street raising my people, and you're going to reprimand me for telling the truth against authority? And what do? They say we can't control them. Let's kill them. I like to see, that lets you know how true these scriptures are, because the Most High say there's nothing new under the sun. The same thing is repetitive. See, but one thing about the gospel of Christ, which is so great, it don't hinge on one man. The Holy Spirit goes throughout. So you can pluck one off and another will come in its stead. Because he already died. He was the one. And the Holy Spirit allowed many Christs to rise. It's not no one-man movement anymore. Right? Listen to what this says. Come on.
Verse 52. And not for that nation only.
And not for that nation only, read.
But that also he should gather together in one the children of God that were scattered abroad.
The Gadites and those that are spread, the Mexicans and all those that are spread, not just for us only, but our people that are far off in Nazareth, that are spread out. Like the Hawaiians, Samoans, Fijians, the so-called Puerto Ricans, and all these. He says, not just for us, but our people who left in 721 BC. He must die so that we can be one again as a people. Come on.
53. Then from that day forth, they took counsel together for to put him to death. Yeshua therefore walked no more openly among the Jews, but went thence unto a country near to the wilderness, and to a city called Ephraim, and then continued with his disciples.
You see that? The Most High let him know, well, okay, you can't be operating publicly like you were before. They're ready to kill you. His own people. His own people. And that goes into, and I was going to talk about this at another time, but I just want to mention this before I open the floor. This ministry to the Jews first, also, like I said before the Passover, will have a ministry within the church that go out and teach Gentiles too. What they need to do under the guides of Christ and under the law. And they will learn from the Jews. They will learn from the Israelites. We will teach them. See? We're going out throughout the four corners of the earth and establish the Most High's kingdom to the Jews first and also the Gentiles. This is not just an Israelite thing. Israelites are what? The kingdom. But in order to have a kingdom, you must have what? You must also have a world and nations which is subject to Christ's kingdom. We must gather them all. And there will never be a thing in this church where anyone that we perceive from the outward appearance is not us. We will never have a thing where they're being treated any other way than a brother amongst us or a sister amongst us. And the example I can give, and I say it all the time, yes, I'm for my people first. Who's not? But all in all, this is not my personal agenda. This is not my church. This is the church of Christ. You understand? I have to do what Christ command me do. And all in all, there's many Gentiles that are amongst his church. And guess what? They're good people. They operate amongst the church. There's no issue. And I'm going to tell you this. When it comes to getting pushback and total, what you would call division and hatred and variances, it's a shame and it hurts. But we get more of that from our own people. And so when I read these scriptures about what was going on with Christ here, it was no Edomites or Ishmaelites up in the room saying, well, let's kill him. It was us. It was us. So I wanted to put that out there, that this knowledge and understanding that's awakening Israel is to teach the world. And like I said before, it doesn't take away from my promise. Hey, I'm from the seed of Abraham. If I do my work to the end, I'm going to get the promise of my father. And guess what? No nation can stop that. I don't care what nation you are. You can't stop my work if it's in Christ. So none of you are to feel like you're being slighted or you're not getting something because other people are being taught. If you don't teach the world what's right, how will they learn? Right?
Right.
Don't complain about a world you're not willing to change. Right?
Right.
Okay. That concludes my talk about the circumcision. And you know what? I have to get to know my people now. Do you have any questions or any comments? Now is your time. We're going to do it orderly. We're going to do a brother, then a sister. You'll raise your hand. We'll have the brothers that are operating with the other mic over there. He'll point out the brother, then the sister, and you can all come up in line to interact with the elders at this platform this evening. And you know we have to ask, man, what is your take on what happened last night? Okay. Well, show of hands, whoever want to, the Issacharite brother back there who had his hand raised earlier.
That you talking about?
Brother Sammy. Well, whenever he come in. Oh, he stepped out. Well, whenever he comes back. All right. So if you have any questions, comments, or whatever the case is, here we are.
Yep. Come up so we can hear you.
Do me a favor, Luke. Just get on that during the answering questions so we can go back and forth. Somewhere right here, because we don't want.
Okay. No, he's right. Look at it.
Yeah.
Yep. Little louder, sister.
Yeah, put it up so they can. Yeah, that's good. Yes. Shalom, sister. Oh, you got to speak up louder in that mic there.
Pick up the mic. Pick up the mic. There you go. There you go.
Is this better?
Yep.
Okay. I want to give all praises to the Most High, the great Shaya and Ahaya. I have more like something that struck in my heart. I was looking at I was in the academy looking at the YouTube video you showed me, and you were talking about how there were 70 angels that had came in and they confused people with the language and everything.
Come on, speak up. I know you can speak up louder than that.
And those 70 angels are now who is ruling. I'm not really speaking.
Okay, I understand.
And those 70 people are
The 70 gods that are over all of the Gentile religions today.
And that's the thing that's troubling me. You said that they're gods, but then you said that there's fallen angels. So are there angels? Because to my understanding, there's only one God, which is a higher. And those angels that fell are angels. So I'm just trying to get my definition.
Okay, well, my question to you is, real quick, and that is a good question. Okay. Yeah, I got it. No, I got something. No, do you have your Bible with you? Okay. This is what you, no, stay right there because I'm going to answer your question. She's asking, because I was mentioning during the academy that when you go into the Septuagint, it talks about a God that split the tongues of the nations. When the Most High at the Tower of Babel, he sent 70 angels to give 70 different languages. And each of these gods that were over these areas or over these particular people began to be worshipped by those tribal people or those nations as gods and separated the religions into 70 separate fractions of Babylonian mysticism or religious rites. Now, that wasn't their intention when they came to split the tongues. The people turned them into a religion or gods. So what the sister was asking, well, she was kind of confused because she thought there was only one God and other gods really don't exist outside of the Most High. Is that your question?
Somewhat, yes, because, again, you have stated that they're fallen angels. So why call them gods when they're fallen angels?
That's a good question. Because the scriptures call them gods. Let me show you. I need you to go to 1 Corinthians 6 and 5. You can go there. Let me know when you have it, but the elder will read it. Okay? Is that mine if you're not reading? No, that's fine. Who did that? I gotta start doing that. Okay. All right. 1 Corinthians 6 and 5. You have it, Elder Lawyer?
Verse 6 and 5?
Yeah. 1 Corinthians 8 and 5. 8 and 5. You got it? Read it.
1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 5. For though there be that are called gods, whether in heaven or in earth, as there be gods many and lords many,
whether they be in heaven or earth, they still call the gods that fell. Whether they be in heaven or earth. See that?
I do understand that.
Okay, let me finish reading now. Read.
As there be gods many and lords many, but to us, us under Christ, under a higher, read.
There is but one God. There is but one God to us, but not to the Gentiles.
And I do understand that. That's why I'm saying why not call them what they are, which is fallen angels,
Well, we can call them fallen angels, right? But the earth understand them as gods. See, so the whole deal is, if I'm trying to bring someone out of their particular religion concerning these false and fallen gods, I must present to them what it is. That they are worshiping a God. You understand? That was once in the heavenly realm. That they made gods to themselves. So to that particular person, that's a God. If I'm going to pull them out of that, I have to show them their God's origin and say that was a lesser God that fell. But here's the God of all gods. So you have to realize, sister, as a teacher, you must be skillful in the word without offending. That's not me saying that they're not fallen gods or fallen angels, because there's scriptures that say that too. It's not an either or. It's both. They're fallen angels who became gods by the other nations who began to worship them.
And I do understand that, but as I stated, they are fallen angels. So
Yeah. Let me make it clear to you, sister. As far as I'm concerned, right? As far as I'm concerned, they are lower than the floor we're standing on. Let me make it clear to you. Because it's as if you are, or you may be thinking that we are exalting them to something. You have to realize there's only one God. Ahia is the God. But there's fallen gods. Even the Bible calls Lucifer or Satan a god. You understand? Of the principalities and powers of the air. Now, whether or not we want to call him a fallen god, he's revered as a god by the other nations. So what we're getting into is what you would call almost just a straw man type of circular conversation, depending on what side you're on. You understand? They are fallen gods. But guess what? Because of the technology, understanding, and ingenuity and science they gave men who knew nothing, the people they taught revered them as what? Gods, because they gave them knowledge beyond this earthly realm. And the Most High shows a clear distinction between the two. You understand? So you are correct. They are fallen angels. But they're worshipped in this earth by the Gentiles and ignorantly by our people as gods. So when Muslims say, well, my God is Allah, I'm like, yeah, your God is Allah. And your God is going to be thrown in the fire with Satan. My God is higher than Allah. And my God made your God. See? So we just have to give understanding to these terms. Because by saying by ignoring them as gods, don't change how the people are reverencing them. If I say they were fallen angels, it's not going to change how they worship in Asia. Or when someone comes to the truth and talk about their gods as Allah, it's not going to change that. I teach about the fallen angels because the Bible tells us about those gods that fell and what we're wrestling against and all that. But you have never heard me reference any other god but Ahia. Okay? Yeah, Psalms 96 and 3. Read it.
Psalms chapter 96, verse 4.
Come on.
For the Lord is great and greatly to be praised.
Come on.
He is to be feared above all gods.
He's to be feared above all what?
All gods.
The Bible called them gods. We know they're fallen angels, but they're gods on earth. Read.
For all the gods of the nations are idols.
They are what?
Are idols.
Are idols. So what did the gods teach mankind to do? To make earthen vessels from the original creation so that they can interact with them. It has to be something from the original creation. Rock, wood, or something that they can enter to talk and operate with people. Stone or whatever the case is. Right? Come on.
Exodus chapter 12, verse 12. For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night and smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and against all the gods of Egypt.
All the what?
And against all the gods of Egypt.
All the gods of Egypt. Now here's something else that's going on. When you look at the book of Daniel, where Christ was going to bring in one empire, but he says the God of Persia withstood him a certain amount of time until Michael came to help him contend against that God that was keeping that empire intact. So this battle is not just on this realm, but in the spiritual realm also. There are gods in realms controlling government on this earth that will fall. Okay? I hope that cleared it up. But yes, you are correct. They were angels that fell. They are fallen angels, but they are gods too, not to us. Right? It tells us also in the Apocrypha, the Most High set a ruler over every nation. That's a God, a power. Right? But he's our portion. He didn't put none of them over us. Right? So when the Most High destroyed Egypt, you just seen the end result of what was going on in the physical. But there was something playing out between him and the angels against the gods of Egypt in different realms. He was taking full power from Egypt by destroying the gods that were over Egypt. Okay? Thank you, sister. Good question. All right. Yes. You can come on up. We're going to do a sister, then a brother, a sister, then a brother. Thank you, Luke. Thank you. Yes, sir. Do me a favor. Put some power on that brother's mic. You know what? No, because you're going to start messing with my mic now. No, I tell you what. Now I'm out of here. So just leave me alone. Leave me alone. All right. No, we'll use that. I'll just work with it.
I just speak up.
There you go.
Yeah, there it is. That brother don't need a microphone anyway. Yes, sir.
Hello, my name is Abimelech. I want to give you a part testimony and then I want to.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so my testimony, how I come into this truth. I was studying into a code, world-found code called the Masons.
The Masons.
The Masons.
Okay.
I went all the way up to my 32nd degree. Okay, before I was destined today I was destined to go and take my 33rd degree.
No.
My wife was
Hold on.
We good?
Hold 1 second.
Okay, we're good.
All right, we good. We can hear him fine. Nobody, please, everybody, we good. Go ahead, sir.
okay, so the day I was going to take my 33rd degree, my wife told me not to, and to come to you guys' church. She was trying to get me to for the very first time.
Lift it up. Lift it up.
And at that time, I told her, I said, well, I'm going to go to this and you go to that. And so before going, she told me, she said, if you do this, just know that you and I is going to be on two sides of the line. Meaning that I was going to be following Satan and she was going to be following Christ. Because she was serious about it.
Where's she at? That's how you stand for truth. Okay, go on. And people talk about sisters don't have no power. But go on.
She was serious about this.
And let me tell you, people talk about sisters don't have no works and try to downplay the power of sisters. Let me tell you, if that man become 144,000, she have done her job. She taught one of the elect. Right? But go on.
initiate taking this royal oath to become a 33rd elite, the last standing degree of Mason. And when they took the veil off my face, they needed to tell me something. They gave me a true word. And that true word was who I needed to know who God was before taking this oath. And they told me the name Ahai. Stuck in my head.
You mean to tell me they actually told you who the real God was?
Real God was, because.
And then hold up, they said he was who?
They said this is the God of heaven and earth, named as Ahai. But the God you serve is named Baphomet. Now I still wait a minute. See, from the beginning of Masonry, the first degree through the third degree is everything in this Holy Bible. And there's scriptures that they stand on. And the last degree that Masonry used of the Holy Bible before going into other religious doctrines as you gain higher elevations and higher degrees. The last scripture they used was Ecclesiastes 12. That behold, good brother, you know the scripture. I know the scripture. I'm not trying to uplift that.
I got you.
So they gave me that name. And it stood back because my wife told me the name before I went to this. She said God's name was Ahai. And I was like,
so she knew before you did.
She knew before I did, listening to your video. And now I'm taking a step back. I'm questioning my elders. Now I'm standing in front of all these elite people of Southern California, as far as up to Northern California, and all down Southern California. All these 33rd degrees, these high elite people. And I'm questioning the authority. I said, blindfold that brother and take him back into the waiting room. And when I got to the waiting room, they said, wait a minute, we need to, you sure you want to go through this? Go through with this. I said, no, I got some questions. I heard that the whole way up to this point, we've been talking about God, grand architect of the universe. That ain't what the true God they've been talking about. They've been talking about Satan. See, makes you believe that.
And what did they say?
Well, because I'm questioning, I'm not going through with this, I basically fell down in the rankings. It was a spit in their face not to take the 33rd degree. It was a spit in their face. See, a 33rd degree is something that a Mason has to petition to do. It ain't something that they say, okay, just come on, you go do it. You have to petition to do it, meaning that you prove your worth, all these other degrees, and answer all these other questions and answers to get you to that work. So I petitioned them to do it, but then got to it, and hearing this conflicting story, I decided not to. Basically, I'm spitting in their face. I'm disrespecting them, like you say. And so, by me not doing that, they said, all right, take him out because we don't want the rest of his story to taint the rest of these brothers. But because of who I was coming up in that ranking and being known all throughout Southern California, having born into Masonry, being my father is a 33rd, being that all 7 of his brothers are Masons, all 5 of his sisters are Eastern Stars, we're the grand matrons of the Sacramento Lodge #1. If y'all been to Sacramento, y'all would know.
Okay.
So, all these higher ranking people, and here I am spitting in their face, questioning authority. So, because of my wife, I'm here.
Man.
Because of my wife,
Man, praise the Most High. Now, I want to say something real quick. I'm going to let you go on because we got others after you. Because I know you said you had a question after your testimony. I'm going to let you go into your question, but I wanted to say something on this real quick. You put it down a little bit, yeah. I wanted to say, first of all praises be to the Most High in Christ, Yeshaya, Ahaya Bashim Yeshaya, that, that the Spirit shined through, even when you were operating on the other side. But how many people have that opportunity to get that truth from someone you care about and trust? Right? And here it is. Look how many degrees you'd have to go to so someone else can say, well, let me reveal something to you that the world don't know. And then they tell you what your wife been telling you for the last couple of years. And they're like, you could have came to me. What degree is that? Right? I told you what it was. And then she came back. And then she come in the house. Yeah, take that blindfold off. She looking right at you. Okay, what they tell you? But I know that blew your mind. But that was the Most High confirming something. Right? Brother, it was the Most High confirming it. And I'm going to tell you this, though. But they'll tell you that you're serving Satan. And that your oath you made is to Satan. Now, I had another guy who told me, who went to another degree, where they go into, and I know you didn't get there yet, they go into Yopulon or Jopulon at the 33rd degree.
You sign your name in blood on the scrolls of death.
On the scrolls of death, you sign your name in blood to Jah.
Giving your soul to Satan.
Man, the Most High saved you, brother. So turn it back to that, brother.
My question is...
Well, you can raise it up for the brother. He's a little tall there, yeah. Go on. What's your question, sir?
A lot of brothers, not only just brothers, but their family, cousins.
Yeah.
That I have led up to that point.
Yeah.
They have walked the walk and did the thing. One actually went as far as it did.
Yes.
And I tried to stop him, but he did it on his own. However, I know his soul is on my plate. But what can I do to get in their ears and plant this seed? Because there's some people that's still listening to me. And when I demitted before coming into this truth, speaking to this brother on the phone, and someone, I believe, probably you, on the phone, telling them I denounced masonry.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get baptized, and we went to Tabernacle and went down in that water with about 7 brothers that took me down.
Yeah. I bet.
Came up crying because I knew what the right side I was being on. I knew at that point the right side being on. But it's brothers that's left the lodge, left jurisdiction because I left.
Yes.
And when I give them the story of why I left and who they worship and planting the seed about a high, I have Shimmy Shire, Barakada, planting that seed in them.
Yeah.
They still call me like, brother, give me some more. And I know I'm not no teacher. I'm still a baby and learning Christ myself. But when I open this Bible, I'm on fire, and it's coming, the truth is coming to me like never before.
I got you. So what's your question? Talk to me.
How can I appeal to these brothers?
This is how you already began. Let me tell you, the truth is a daily walk. When you were baptized and went into that water, You're being led by His Spirit. Now the only thing you can do is pray to your Father and have Him resolve it in His time. But the same way this brother was reunited with his father, and I'm reunited with my brothers, and that's how it works. The only thing you got to do is go out, speak to the wind, and do you got to fulfill your oath with Him, because that's the oath you made. That's the commitment you made. And that's the degree you're under now, and the order you're under. Do your work, go out and teach, speak to the wind, teach everybody, because you're not just responsible for them. The Most High have them. But He will allow that opportunity knowing what's in your heart. But you do your work. He'll bring them around. You do your work so you're standing when they come around. Because they'll come around. Because what? They see the kingdom fall then also. Masons aren't able to get what they used to get out of this system, being Masons. So, hey, the Most High will allow you to bring them to that water. And they're going to stand with you. All right? All right. Well, bless you, brother. Okay, we got an hour and 30 minutes, so we're going to try to keep them short and sweet. Yes, sister, come on up. Shalom, my sister.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having us here. In the interest of time, there's many things, I would love to say, but I have to figure out what is most important. And so what's most important is the fact that, I do appreciate the fact that you're doing your part, gathering the 144,000. I do know exactly how important it is. So,
praise the Most High.
Now, concisely, I have a brother that, I have two brothers named Michael, but I didn't meet that last one until like about 12 years ago. And so, and he didn't have a chance to meet his father, which is my father. My grandfather, he was a pastor. Many pastors on that side. He's a pastor. He didn't even know us. He became a pastor. So, I don't know if it was a gene or whatever. And so it was nothing for me and my brother to fellowship for hours at a time prior to me being in the truth. And so once I came into the truth, in my mind, it was difficult. I have not spoken to him on that level since last year this time.
Okay.
When my other brother got married in South Carolina. And I believe that the Most High is blocking it because, and just so other people know, sometimes you can't bring somebody in the truth if you're not of an authority.
Yeah.
So, and I know I'm not that authority to pull him to the truth because he's so knowledgeable about the Bible in his own way that, he's going to feel like whatever he's saying is right.
Okay.
So, I told him about you guys, though, when I initially came to it, but we never really had a conversation about it. But I just gave him a little tidbit, and when I asked him, if my elders were to call you, would you be open to a conversation? And he said, absolutely. I'm the one who had emailed. You respond one time.
Okay.
And it's in Waterproof, Louisiana, and I do know that you guys are pressed for time. And I just want to put it, I just want to put it out there, because when everybody is on the same, have the same mind and the same goal, and you put it out there, things happen. And so I'm putting it out there because I know one day the time is going to be right, and you're going to have some time in your hand, and you're going to think about me on this day, and you're going to dig through that email, and you're going to get my brother's number, and you're going to give him a phone call. And it's going to help to bring your 144,000 because he is guiding and leading a lot of people in his little one-horse town. The town is so small, they have to go to the post office with people. So,
all right, I'll tell you what. I'll do this, and word is bond. You write his number down here, and I'll call him Tuesday. How's that? And Lord, remind me, please.
So,
I need that call. Oh, you said you want to call Tuesday.
and then one more thing. You will let us know far in advance that you had that concert in London, correct?
Yes. And what we're going to do, and I'm speaking to the elders about it, you understand, we're going to all come together on the outside of just the holy days. And what we're going to have is, you know, a pure white night where we all coming together, music, concerts, and teachings, and just fellowshipping. And instead of a red carpet, we walking with no shoes on our white carpet into our engagement. You understand? Not no red carpet and blood, but we have a white carpet. Sisters come up, they showing themselves, yeah, we follow the Most High. And we just going to have just a good old, you know, a time amongst each other. Music, festivities. I just want to have that just so that we can all come together. Because why? The world is given opportunity. We only have these holy days in between. And the whole world is having all these things. And sometimes it sucks our youth into those things. But if they have a time where they can express themselves righteously, why can't we set that form for them? So it's going to be nice. We're going to try to have it in different cities. You understand? We have a pure white night. Nothing but righteousness going on. Righteous music, righteous celebration amongst us. And it's going to be nice.
And also, you know, we approaching our 10-year anniversary.
Yeah, we got to do the 10th anniversary.
So it will be, you know,
we'll do that first.
Amen. So we can celebrate that as well, a 10-year anniversary.
So we're going to do the 10-year anniversary of the Gathering of Christ Church first. And then after that, we're going to be coming to different cities and have our pure night where we can just help stimulate the base for the churches that are there and have people come out and see that, you know what? We are regular people. We cool just like everyone else. We just love the Most High. You understand? And I think that reverberates amongst the people because there's a stereotype out there until they come amongst us and realize, hey, this is normal people. Listen, hey, you want to run some ball? I'll put a layup on you. I'm a regular person, right? Even though, you know, the dog over there talking about, he tried to lean his body up on you playing a basketball, but yeah, the ball.
Also, I know I see people raising their hand, and you guys can stand up and be waiting on the line here and just try to be fair, man and women and man and women, if there's, you know, if there's equal numbers. Okay, so. How much time we have?
6:12
okay.
Right now.
Okay, good. That's fine.
Okay, so brother, your questions.
Okay. Yeah, we can line them up then because we can make sure we get everyone.
Try to make it to 2 minutes per person.
Yeah, 2 minutes because, you know, even though some of these testimonies are blowing me away. Amen. I'll tell you the truth. But go on.
Shabbat Shalom, brother.
Shabbat Shalom.
I just wanted to give a quick testimony and I have a question.
Come on.
Just how I came to the truth.
Man, I'm so tired of this microphone.
You know, like scriptures say, if you diligently seek him, he will reveal himself to you. So when I was in the Christian church, I went to a Christian church, of course, most of us did, and I had questions for the pastor. The one thing the pastor said, he said, no matter what you do, read your Bible. So I took that literally, you know, so I started reading my Bible, started like seeing different things that the church was teaching. So I went after a preacher one day, I said, I see you did a lesson online about how they turned Christ's Day into Christmas or something like that. And he was saying that they robbed Christ and all that and made Christmas out of it. He was like, I never said that. You know, I was like, you never said, I said, you never read in the Bible where it tells you that you can't do Christmas? He said, no, I ain't read that nowhere in the Bible. You know, so when I really started like searching for me, I thought I knew something was wrong with the church, and I started really like searching diligently. And then when I came across the 12 tribes of Israel, I sent this to one of my friends, and I said, check this out right here. I said, I got a video, and it was the House of David. All right, and these brothers, you know, they was cool. They were teaching the truth, but I didn't like the fact they were saying the white man is the devil and cracker and all this type of stuff. I was like, this don't make sense. But I sent it to my friend anyway, and for some reason he lost. When I sent it to him,
he lost it or something like that. He said, but I found something else about the 12 tribes of Israel. I said, yeah, because I couldn't find nothing else online that said it. And then he sent me the video, and it was you. And I said, oh, you know what? This is it. And you know, on the side, they give you all the different lessons pertaining. I said, oh, man, this is what I've been looking for. You know, so I'll pray to the Most High. Bless you, brother. Okay, bless you, brother. My question is, I was, you know, I'm going back from the beginning and reading the Bible because I was reading it when I read it back then. I was reading the New King James. I know it's like a whole lot of stuff that's just different. So I was reading the Bible from the beginning again. I came across where it says Leah, I think it was her son, gave her, he gave his mom some mandrake. Now, when I looked that up, I get different things. Like I said, a mandrake, it said it was like a plant that looked like a human face or something like that. And then it said the mandrake was something that caused the woman to be more fertile or something like that? Because every time when I was trying to look it up, I couldn't get a correct definition about what is mandrake. I know it said something in the Mediterranean or in that area, but I couldn't find out what is a mandrake.
It's a fruit. It's an exotic fruit. I seen it when I was over there in the East, and it's like it's sweet, and it has different colors to it. It's nothing but a fruit. But it grows in tropical places.
So why did the son, why did he get that to his mom? Because I think Rebecca, she wanted some too or something like that. Like,
yeah, because what was going on is you have to realize they both was challenging to be fertile and have children. And there's certain fruit that builds that thing where it allows you to become fertile. A lot of fertile women used to take this particular fruit because it has a lot of nutrients in it. Give you all the vitamins you need to be able to produce. It's a very, very strong. Matter of fact, when you're over there in the eastern areas, a lot of people don't know this. Right under Lebanon, where they're fighting over there, they're not really fighting for what they're telling people. Under Lebanon is the purest, cleanest water of the highest alkaline that's pure. So they want them off that land based on the water that keeps you young. They call that water under Lebanon the fountain of youth. People are not aging over there that are drinking that water. No wrinkles or nothing. So they want that water. So in that land, they don't tell you about Israel. Israel got some serious fruit. And over that land, even the places on the outskirts, some of the Greek islands that used to be attached to Israel, some of the fruit keeps you young. So you can only understand it if you're there. And see, you notice there's a lot of advertisement in America about go to Jamaica, go here. You very rarely see them advertise and come to Israel. You understand? Because there's some stuff there that's it's fertile, it's rich, and let alone it's a cursed land. And still being cursed, it produces more than any other land on earth. Yeah, it was fruit, yeah.
Okay, the last question is when Jacob, when he told Laban that he was going to do the sheep, he said the speckle or something like that. Now he had put something in the water, and maybe what was that he put in the water? Because of course, you know, that's why I'm asking, because if you look up certain things online, they do kind of some weird stuff. And it was saying like stuff you put in the water was like some magical stuff or something.
Well, see, back then it would have been called magic, but it was just, it was normal chemistry. It was a normal chemistry the Most High said to use because it would automatically spot some of the animals. It wouldn't change what they are and all that. It wasn't genetically modified. But he knew that it would change the hue in some of the outward coats. It wasn't magic, but back then it would have been deemed magic, but it was chemistry. Like if you put an animal in a certain area, they drink a certain type of water, they're going to come up a little different opposed to the areas they were raised in. So that's all it was, just normal chemistry. All right? Bless you, brother. All right. Yes, sister.
I just want to say shalom to everybody. And, I want to say first, just thank you to you guys. Thank you so much, for changing our lives and for being used by the Most High. I can't thank you enough. guys here. I mean, I feel like, I know you like, regular brother. He wants to, yeah. But anyway, I have a favor to ask you. Now, I'm here in California with my husband who's going to be angry with me like that, Chaz, because we are about to head back to California. It's like a 4-hour drive. And my husband's back went out, and he's in a lot of pain. And I believe that, we all here, we may as well get used to coming to the elders to lay hands on us, because a lot of us are about to lose our insurance. I know I'm about to lose my insurance, and a lot of us. He's a prayer for you. I want you guys to lay hands on me.
Okay, that's fine. Come on up, brother. Where you at?
You can help him.
Man, we're going to you. Don't worry about it. Come on, other way. Let's say it in the Hebrew. Other way.
Lunch.
Don't worry about it. How you doing, sir? I'm always good. All right. I bet you. There's so many. So you heard it in your back, right? Yeah. Come on, other way. Say it in the Hebrew first.
Somebody get number 1622.
Number 1622, so we can interpret it. Give me your name, brother. Chad.
6:22. Number 6:22.
Which scripture? Numbers?
Number 6:22.
Number 6
What?
You good? Come on, other Lord.
Go ahead.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, On this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, The Lord bless thee, and keep thee. The Lord make his face shine upon thee, and be gracious unto thee. The Lord lift up his countenance upon thee, and give thee peace. And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them.
Ahaya, Ahashem Yeshaya, Wabarak, Yabaraka Ahaya, Wayashamaraka, Ya'a Ahaya, Pinoa Aliyaka, Wayashamaka, Shalom.
Ahaya Bashi Yeshaya Wabarak. We stand before your throne as your servants in the name of Ahaya Bashi Yeshaya. Please send forth your Holy Spirit through the extremities of Chad, from head to toe. Heal him, keep him, and protect him. Restore his cells, restore his spine, restore his body. Allow him to walk upright. Clean him from head to toe. Clear him of all pain. Please hear your humble servants. In the name of Ahaya Bashi Yeshaya, Tawada, bless Chad. Tawada Kanya, Aman, so be it. Yes, sir.
You can stay right there.
And another thing we're going to do, because I've been speaking to Truman, who's about to go to Jamaica. He has natural remedies that operate exactly with the anatomy. That there's certain herbs that can actually clear your spine or to help your spine. Sometimes it's pressure on the spine. I mean, this is brother, he's an expert. You have to work with it. It's not a quick fix for symptoms like your doctors. But if you work with it long enough, it takes. Okay, but I'll give you a story real quick, and then I can get over there. Come on.
A couple of years ago, my wife and I was going to sleep. And my body got extremely hot. And my head was hurting so extremely bad that I had no idea what it was. So what happened was, I suffered a brain injury. I didn't know what it was at the time. So as I was laying in my bed, my wife was going to tell me to pick it up. Let me pick it up. And leave me alone. She's going to text me. Leave me alone. So she left the room to go pray. And when she left the room, I was laying in my bed, and as I was laying, I looked to my left, and there lying next to me was a skeleton face down. But I realized the skeleton was me. So as I looked at the skeleton, I said to it, the devil is alive. So when I said that, the skeleton went away, but I exited my body. Now to me, I thought I died. But later, my wife told me and said, "You're dying, you may have had a lot of body experience." But this is what happens. As I was laying in my bed, and I exited my body, standing there looking at it, lying in bed in that skeleton next to me when I said the devil's the lie and went away. I saw me in a forest, this burnt out forest. And in that burnt out forest, there were no trees. But in the trees, I saw me coming in and out of the trees being tossed around. And as I was being tossed around, I spoke to the Most High. I told him, I said, this can't be. This can't be the way it's supposed to be. I don't believe this. I said, because I have a wife that I love very much, and I have a daughter that is still working with. I said, this can't be it. This can't be it. I said, and you said that there would be one who would come, and by his stripes I shall be healed. I say, and Christ, you said, by your stripes I am healed. So if I can't believe what you're saying, I say, all you told me I had to do is believe. I say, all my life I've walked by faith. I say, so for this to be it, I don't believe it. I say, if I can't believe what you said, not only me, that's thousands of us. We have absolutely nothing. I say, so as I was being tossed in this forest, there was a lot of noise, a lot of commotion, very, very, extremely hot. As I was looking at me, I felt the presence of it come to me and grabbed me and pulled me out. As I got pulled out, now I'm in this quiet, cool place, standing there. Not, in my mind, I'm thinking I'm dead. So as I stood there, and he was walking and by that, I want to see a truth. I re-entered my body, and when I re-entered my body, I felt these hands on my face and said, "It's on top." And I opened my eyes and my wife walked back in. Not knowing that. I didn't tell anyone because I didn't know what it was myself. So a couple of days later, the neurologist who came into the operating room to drill into my brain, he told me, he said, when I came in to see you, you were in real bad shape. He said, and I knew that if I didn't get that pressure off your brain, you wasn't going to make it. So that I told your wife, whatever you do, don't let him fall asleep. Because if he falls asleep, he's not waking up. She said, so, he said, but when he got ready to drill in my brain, something whispered in his ear, don't do it. He said, because if he had drilled and just went any direction the wrong way, I'd have been paralyzed. So, he told me that a couple of days after all of this had happened. Because he came to see me because he heard about a person that had an aneurysm, and he was on the phone out in Denver. He said, you don't talk, you don't do the things you've done. She said, so the only thing I can believe is that you do a miracle, he said, because I can't explain why you're not like the rest of these people in this car, in this ICU. He said, because look around, these people are not talking. Half of them come. Okay. He said, so for you to do that, all praise be to the Most High, brother. Real quick, this is the same thing happened, he wasn't sick, but it happened to Ezra, where the Most High showed him the 70 scriptures that are in the annotated of what happens when the spirit leaves the body, and they see, with that 7 days, they see all the place of torments. Then they see the place of rest. And at the end of the 7 days, they go into habitation, where the Most High will show them which of the two they'll live permanently until the resurrection, either the first resurrection or the second death. So what's deep about this is when you go into these realms, it's not subject to time and space. So that's why it doesn't matter if she walked out for 3 seconds or 15 minutes, no matter how long she was gone, the Most High is going to work with you in that little space for a long period of time, outside of our time. But the Most High showed you hate. That's what he showed you. Bless you, brother, and get well.
Okay, welcome to one. Boy, oh boy. Man, they got everybody ready to testify for him. Come on,
Man, how you doing, Elder?
hey brother, I'm blessed by the best.
Man, I just came up here. I want to take this opportunity, brother Adam, just to get to know my elders and deacons. So, quick question. Out of all the places you went, and this for you guys as well, what was your favorite place?
What you mean, what was my favorite place?
Well, that you enjoyed the most. Out of all the places you got blessed to travel to, what was the place I guess you enjoyed the most?
That is a good question.
Jackson, who's your favorite kid?
See, here's the dichotomy.
Elder, you in Las Vegas right now.
No, are you talking about just to go to church or just anywhere I travel or outside the country? What are you talking about?
I just mean wherever you went in the country, outside, what did you enjoy traveling abroad?
Well, I'll tell you this. In Babylon, the greatest place I traveled, my best experience is when I came back for that first Passover.
Okay.
I mean, because I was able to see the fruits of the work when it was only me and about two other brothers on the corner teaching. And then I leave Babylon and come back and the church is greater than it was before I left. So that was the experience of that first Passover. It was just overwhelming. You understand? As a matter of fact, I prayed to the Most High, and to me, I'm like, Lord, I'm not even worthy. For none of it was so overwhelming. It almost hurt me because I didn't feel worthy to be received. I felt like this. So that was the experience that had the greatest impact on me. I have so many good moments in this truth. Well, the place, I'm going to tell you why. The place that I really enjoyed and felt good about is a place that I can't mention right now. I'm going to tell you why. If I mention it, everybody and their mother will go there and destroy it before we have a chance to actually do something with it. You understand? The whole deal is because we went into the East and all that, and we were trying to do something just incognito to try to help our people. And then some people found out where I was traveling, and then people that weren't in the church that was traveling over there. The next thing you know, people that we didn't know was getting arrested and doing all types of crazy stuff. And they messed it up for anyone of our persuasion or what we believe in those areas going forward. They came there, and I'm telling you, some of these stories you wouldn't believe. One day I'm going to go through some of these stories. You're going to be like, what? Well, guess what? Just read about Israel in the wilderness. All that, and then add crack, cocaine on it. Okay? And then you'll get what we're talking about. but all right. So, all right. Hey, listen, brother, listen. Hey, brother, listen. Sometimes, like I was saying earlier, you want to deal with things spiritually, and sometimes they be like, man, listen, let's put on these gloves. Yeah, Israel don't understand nothing. Sometimes they need to get a hit to the gut. But we try to set something up for our people, and then something else happens. So I can't mention that, but we all going to enjoy it soon.
I understand.
All right, my brother. All right. Hey, sister, you was in line, right? What, you was among them? No, you gotta wait. Come on, talk to me real quick. Y'all come on over, man. We might as well get this through. I only got a couple of minutes, so I'm going to try to get everyone through real quick. Just come on over here. Don't worry about it. Yes, sister, talk to me.
Well, I just want you to let you know that.
There you see.
That GoCC, the body, you, my family over the call, you all are a blessing to me and my family. Last night, the question was posed to you as to what makes you believe in the Bible, or why do you believe in the Bible? Why do you believe the Bible is true? And your response was because of prophecy.
Yeah.
And prophecy has been a big part of my life, especially since I've been married. My husband gets, he and the Most High have a relationship that most people don't believe. And so in 2012, we were leaving, we were from Atlanta. And so we were leaving Atlanta to move to Colorado to go to Colorado to finish school. And the school is Bible college. Well, when we were preparing to go there, the Most told my husband, he said, when you get to Colorado, you're going to recover the things that have been stolen from you for generations and generations and for thousands of years. So I looked at him and I was like, okay. I said, I don't have a rich uncle out there anywhere, you know. So we came to Colorado expecting to finish school in the fall, which was the Bible college that we went to go there for. But in the midst of that, my husband and our sons and myself were on this 3-day fast. And when we finished the fast, it's a long story, but we came into the truth. And in that time of coming into the truth, we found GoCC. And we started the academy right away. That was the school that the Most High said that we would go to Colorado to finish. We thought we were going there to finish the Bible college. We went there. So yeah, and so for the information that we got, that the Most High said to my husband that you would recover the things stolen from you is our heritage. That has been stolen from us from generation to generation and thousands of years. So I'm just making it quick, but there's a lot more to it.
Praise the Most High. And she has a strong, powerful husband. Shabbat Shalom. How are you doing, sister? Shalom.
My name is Sharon, Sister Sharon from Sacramento, and I came for prayer that you may lay hands on me and pray for my healing. God has blessed me so tremendously since I've been a part of GLCC 2012. I've talked to another lawyer before and so forth. Stephen Barrage, he was just so wonderful to help me through my illness. I thought I was operating on.
What's the illness?
And somebody I went to the doctor and they gave me the wrong shot. I talked to you once before, you said, no, I shouldn't have got the shot. You're right. Because evidently that's what did all this.
Is that autoimmune?
Yes. Something, well, not really that, because I've been very healthy and God has blessed me to overcome with Dr. Burrs.
What was the shot for?
It was for an antibiotic. But I've been getting well. Things are better. I take care of my grandmother. She's 98 years old. And God is just aiding me so much. So I just want to say thank you for everything that you do. And I want you to, I would like for you to lay hands on me so that I can do my, my part as far as fulfilling my, whatever God has for me to do.
Okay, well, what we're going to do, sister, I'm going to answer all the questions, and we'll do all the prayers right afterwards. Is that good? And you'll be first. And you have something for us. All right. What you got there? Oh, because you couldn't. Okay. Okay. So because you couldn't use some of the products out there, it was affecting you negatively. You was able to make healthy products for yourself, and you want to share that with us. Thank you, sister. I'm going to use it. There you go. I'm going to use it. I appreciate it. What gifts.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Man, we have to have a thing where we send out our own soap. That's something we
Gabar,
got to do every day.
we contacted you before,
right?
to also when
Clean up.
the other Gabar was in charge.
Yes, brother, real quick.
This is my
Oh,
godson, Ryan, and we both take care
right,
of
talk
our
to me.
parents. We came all the way from
Shalom,
Sacramento.
Elder. How you doing?
I'm Penny, so pray
I'm
for us to
blessed
get
by the
home.
fact. What's going on? Talk to me.
Yes, I came with my godmother. We traveled all the way from Sacramento, about 9 hours, and I just it's wonderful to meet the elders. And I was just wondering, I'm asking for a prayer request so I can do the ministry with the music. I got Most High Bashi Shai will walk at me through the music. To Sister Sharon, and I've been kind of my health, the devil has been attacking me. I just asked for prayer requests, and also I got some
donation CDs, you know, presenting the truth to our people, you know.
Okay. Well, if you want to donate the CDs, we'll give them out at the very end. And when I do the prayers, we'll do a prayer for you, all right, brother?
Okay. Do you think that you have, probably not, I don't know, I came late. I don't know if you did a singing or anything like that.
Oh, not today. Not tonight. Just the word.
All right. Okay.
You want to sing?
I did want to sing something.
Go ahead, hit it.
Oh, all praises to a higher. We were born by the river in a little tent. Oh, and just like the river we've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but we know the Shire change gonna come.
Yes, it will, brother. Lord have mercy. Hey, let me tell you, you can't script this stuff, boy. It's straight out of the spirit. Shout around, what you gonna do? Talk to me, brother.
For Deacon Elias and Deacon Tazak, if I said that correctly, for the council today.
Yeah. My testimony. Hold up, I got it. Thank you.
Go on.
I want to give my testimony as fast as possible. I want to say, first of all, that I was in a car accident a couple of years ago. It led me into a coma for about a month. I woke up, I was like, you know what? At the time, I knew the Most High as Jehovah, so I was just like, all right, I need to give all praise to him. I need to study and hit the books. New World Transition, because my wife was into it, so I hit those books hard. Just listen to Watchtower, which is nonsense now that I know about that. Then I was like, you know what? I want the tattoo of the Most High's name right here on my arm, my hand. So because I was thinking about the mark of the beast. Well, you know, I'm gonna have the mark of the Most High's name on me. Then I did some research, and I was like, okay, I want to see how it looks on pool and stuff. And then it turns out, like, I ran across this one site that says Jehovah, Tetragrammaton, Baal. I'm like, what? I did more research, and I came across your video of what the true name of the Most High was, and that just, whew, that changed everything. Praise the Most High. I watched the stars of the Rosh Hashanah. I'm Israel. I found out later, going through teachings, I was still, like, in the world. I smoked, and I was like, I knew she did some teaching on that. I'm like, okay, put that aside. Most High doesn't like that. And then the Shabbat, okay. And then later on, I found a video of you saying the true 12 tribes of Israel. I'm like, I'm Issachar. Oh my goodness. Quick question, can I get baptized?
Absolutely. Where are you from?
For Las Cruces.
Okay, how you came here from where? Okay, is there some water in Vegas? Okay, when you will get baptized in, bro.
Sunday.
Listen, all right. No more, come on now. It's on?
Can I get a hug? I just want to get a hug, bro.
Man, y'all too much, man. Y'all make a brother, y'all ready to get a brother broken down up in here.
Sunday morning.
But I'm going to tell you how the Most High works in such mysterious ways. When we did that lesson on the name of the Most High, I had no idea the impact that particular video would have. Between that original video and the 12 lost tribes found, and some of the old mark of the beast and what's going to happen with FEMA and all that, man, they'll tell you. Elder lawyer, all of them will tell you. A lot of those lessons came on the spot. We were there, and we were there working 30 minutes before we said, okay, just turn the camera on. And we just started teaching. we would come out to teach, and there wasn't nobody really preparing like that, you know. We just operating in the spirit. And when I hear these stories, I was about to put a mark on me. things was about to happen in my life, and then that's when most of that video popped up, and it changed my life. That's all the Most High. Well, I mean, that's all the Most High, brothers and sisters. I'm gonna tell you. Yes.
A little nervous.
No, it's okay, sister. Yeah, don't be nervous. And guess what? When the Most High name was actually revealed and we started going into it, right? Myself and Zionish, and I was like, man, I'm just gonna do it, man. I'm just gonna teach it. I'm like, man, we're gonna rock the boat and all that. Let's just say we Israel. But you know what? A spirit came in like a thought, said, listen, don't worry about the adversity that comes with my name. No one knows my name. Okay? You say it, I'll do the rest. You go out there and say it, I'll do the rest. Okay? Just teach it. You stand for me. So I don't care because I know what the Most High said, right? Just put it out there, and it's him that's bringing his elect back to him. I mean, like I was telling you, brothers and sisters, I'm a humble servant of the Most High. And that's all. I'm as blown away and I get excited and all that when I hear these testimonies. I'm like a child, just like you. And when the Most High revealed that name and the understanding, I was doing the jig. I was popping. I was like, yo, this is deep. But I knew we was going to have opposition by every Israelite group, Jewish people. But guess what? I don't even have this much of backlash from Jewish people. I speak to Jewish people when the camera off, and they be like, yeah, yeah, we know that. That's his name. That's his name. But we can't say it. They tell me all day long. Of course. You just found that out? But we speak to our people, the circumcision, the Jews, the Israelites. But that's a whole other conversation in itself. I did that to break the ice, so that, so I can break some of your nerves there. Still nervous.
Okay, all praises be to the Most High. I just want to say thank you. And because all my life I've been searching for truth. Even moved to Georgia when I was 25, just looking for some answers. Because growing up in LA,
hold on. Just come more towards that. Just come towards this. There you go. And Elder, you closer to the to this too. It makes better.
Okay, I thought I fixed it. Eagles. It's good?
No, yeah, the closer you get to it's better.
All right, okay.
Well, growing up in LA, it was unheard of, or you was weird if you talked about the Bible.
All right.
So I would secretly read the Bible. And then, as a teenager, I would have dreams about Rome falling all the time. And then at one point I was feeling homesick, and then that's when I moved to Georgia. But I'm from California. Okay. And then I started studying Egyptology and all of that stuff. Oh. Even joined Eddie Long's church. Got a dream right after I went to a service, went to sleep, had a dream that he was doing something with a little boy, and then I stopped going. And then years later.
So you had this before it went down?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
a couple of years later, it came out. So, let's just, fast forward. I sat on the 12 tribe video for about a year. My cousin sent it to me. And
the 12 lost tribes.
First it was with another camp. And then he sent me your video.
Oh, okay.
And then, I watched it. And then I was like, okay, my life was kind of in chaos at the time. So I really wasn't focused. So then I came back to the video a year later. And then I went full forward and joined the academy and everything. Okay. And probably, almost lost my job a few times because I got the earphones in my head on Sunday mornings, and then y'all dropped some knowledge, and I'm like, what? I knew that, or dang, that's deep, and my manager's like, what's going on? But to say that I'm just happy that I finally found the truth, and in my spirit, I knew once I started cracking open the Bible with you and Elder Goyer, you know, I'm like, here it is. Like, this is it. I also quit my job recently to give back to you guys and got another job that can help the body. So,
Well, bless you, sister. Thank you.
All praise be to the Most High. Let me tell you, I'm only going to spend about 3 minutes on speaking of jobs, because I'll be hearing about this thing about losing jobs. You got to walk with some wisdom with this truth, because the corporations is Satan's world. So automatically they see when you're out of place. Automatically, that even if you're changing spiritually, just by a little bit, you don't know how much, you didn't realize how much they were really watching you the whole time, or how much you was just in the world, in their system. But no sooner as you start to deal with a different vibe, everyone recognizes at once. You didn't know they were paying attention. But on another note, I was just tired. Like in the 90s, sometimes I tell this story, and I don't advise any of you to do this at all. And one day I went to the mailbox, and there was nothing but bills in the mailbox. Bills, 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 bills. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to pay none of these anymore. I don't have no money, you know. I got truth, but, you know, I can't do it no more. Because, because I used to get anxiety going to the mailbox. So, but I was totally free when I just seen the mailbox overflowing, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not dealing with this no more. And the Most High was showing go, flee, and I was like, you know, I'm going into another world. I'll see where the Most High take me. You know what I mean? They came and knocked on the door. I'm like, okay, that must be the sheriff. I'm like, okay, Zell, we got about 1 hour. Can we give us an hour and 15 minutes? Remember that, Zell? And his dad, I'm like, yeah, I told you this time would come. Let's roll out. Thank you, officer. I got my bag. I'm out of here. We got in the truck, and we rolled out. And the next thing you know, we was traveling the world just teaching. The Most High brought us all the way back. Now, again, I don't want y'all to take this as a lesson and say, well, Ricard Shaw told me to look at some bills piling up. And then say, well, Ricard, you got an extra room. Okay? That was my thing that I was going through. And the Most High, I had to exercise a level of faith that I didn't think existed. Like, will I still have food, shelter, and raiment if I let this stuff be? And for the first time, I didn't have the weight of caring for the world, having the Most High fulfill His promise of food, shelter, and raiment every day. I never went homeless. I never went without food or nothing, just trusting in Him. But by doing it, it allowed me to now operate in the world with the right view instead of serving the world. That was just a testimony that I'm putting out there. But it's funny when every time I talk about it, people are like, what? You didn't pay? Listen. It was just too much. I had $30 and I had 40 envelopes. So you work that out. Yes, my brother.
Just want to hug you, man.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Praise the Most High.
Bless you.
What you want to tell me, man? Talk to me, man.
I don't know.
Warrior.
Warrior, you just knew that. Huh?
Yeah.
Just ran my spirit off fast like that. I'm good, close friends with the brother from Philly.
Okay.
Me and brother Eric sit in the garage watching lessons, and we talk about this.
Yeah.
He's like, man, I used to walk past the other car, and the clothespin and all that. So it's like to see that come into fruition for him. I'm just happy for that. So I'm ecstatic at that. I want to say a special thanks to GoCC Arizona, Elder Greg, Elder Craig, Brother Christian. That's I call him Elder Kurt. He say brother, I say elder. You judge a tree by its fruit, right? Oh my cool. But Elder Ricard, when When I first of all, coming out of the Christian church, when you share your story growing up like that, I felt like it was me. When you talk about how you was in the church and your granddad and all that, I felt like I went through those same similar experiences. Growing up in Cleveland, Ohio. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, being so church, I knew something was missing. And it's like my mom, my granddad, nobody could explain why we were down at the bottom. And we know Jesus so good, and we could sing the song and do the dance and know the word and can quote it better than anybody. But we suffering more than anybody. And nobody had the answers. You ain't got the answers. But you get what I'm saying? So my brother, my younger brother, who was living in Los Angeles at the time, while I was in Arizona, you know, we got the little, camaraderie and competition, you know, with everything. You know, we both do music and everything. So when he came with that, I was like, how do you find that nugget? You know, there was the 12 Tribes video. And he sent it, and you and Elder Lawyer, y'all just look so gully with the white tees, you know, just bringing it raw. And it was like in a basement or whatever. I was like, I can relate to that.
Yeah.
So my brother sent me the video through Facebook. And when I watched that video, all the questions that I had as a child growing up, all those things that were on my mind, oppressing my mind and binding me up, were answered. And I just thank you, man. I just want to thank you for that. And I came into the street. And I've been on fire since it's been a trial. Like the one sister spoke about, like with the job situation, like it's all kinds of persecution. You get what I'm saying? And even within the Christian church or your family, you go to gatherings and stuff. You know, you're not going to, you know, my mom mad at me right now, you know, because I'm not saying happy birthday and I'm not sending Mother's Day gifts. You know, but I'll come and follow up, you know, like, hey, I love you. But I'm just blessed to be here, man, and I'm thankful. And I thank you for the work. And we pray for you. We pray for y'all every day. We got to cover them. We can't. Amen.
I want to say something, but I want to help you out real quick. Because I know how it is with the mother.
Yes, sir.
You understand? You have to use some grace with her. And I'm saying that. Like, I know that my mother feel out of place on Mother's Day. I know she feel out of place on her birthday. Because all the other women her age be talking about what their children did.
Right.
And it's like, well, this boy, right? But anyway, what I do is, I come before that. Mom, you know I don't deal with that. But you know, the day I came to be is a blessing. And I know the day you came to be, without you, hey, I wouldn't be here. But I'm not going to do it that day. But before that day come in, I'm hooking you up. So it ain't going to be Mother's Day. You're going to have a Mother's Day every day. You understand? So I say, Mom, you call me, whatever you need, if it's in my means, you have it. You know what? When people talk about Mother's Day and all that, she's like, listen, every day is Mother's Day for me. You understand? So you have to understand what she has to deal with the pressure of not being appreciated as a mother. So it ain't about that semiramis, but it's about honoring your mother. So listen, I know what the pressures of the world. So I have to show my mother I love her and let her know that I can do better than what the world does. I don't have to wait on Mother's Day anymore. So, but you have to talk to her one-on-one and let her know how much you appreciate it and say, listen, Mom, before these days come, it won't be on that day because of what's going on in the spirits and all that, but I'm coming in right before that. You can bet on that. And, you know, she'll become light. You understand? Exactly. You gotta love her, man, and let her know. I'm gonna tell you. Thank you. Because I'm gonna tell you. Because when I decided I wasn't paying no more bills, Mom was there. She said, I told you, boy, what that stuff gonna do to you. I'm like, Mom, wait till I'm finished. And then now she look at it, she said, did she tell everybody, all her friends, I told y'all, my boy's a prophet. I told you, he's telling it like it is. She called me the other day. She said, Junior. I'm like, what? She said, what happened over there in Manchester? Did that really happen? I'm like, Mom, nothing to see there. She said, I knew it. I'm like, turn off the TV, Mom. I knew it. All right. So now she checks in on prophecy now. She used to look at the 700 Club. The Gathering Christ Church, the 700 Club now. My brother put on YouTube videos, and I'm just there all the time with her, you know? But come on, sister. Shalom.
All praise to Higher.
We winding down, folks.
First of all, I just wanted to
You got the mic on?
like everyone else, and thanks y'all. Thank you so much for doing this work.
Come on, come on. There it is, right there. All right. You good?
You know, because I just think about it kind of funny. I laugh to myself. It's like a little joke, and I think about like, what if y'all didn't listen when you know you got that call, and you know you probably would have been in the well or something, you know, or sitting down for a minute until the Most High, you know, you listen, because how He's worked with you guys and in you guys through you. I don't see any other way that y'all could have been doing anything else but His work. So I thank you for that. And, you know, it was funny because I moved out to California from Houston, and my mother is there with the green phone, and my son is over there running around. And didn't even know there was a GoCC there in Houston. Didn't know the truth, you know, was raised in a Christian church my whole life. But every time we would go to church, you know, it just felt dead. And it was something was missing, but we just didn't know what it was. And so we just recently left the Calvary Chapel about 7 months, almost like 8 months ago now. Like
Calvary Chapel. Okay.
And you know, one day we were just sitting there and they singing the songs, and it just was so dry. And I was like, "What is going on?" And I said, "Mom, something ain't right," you know. But you know, she was told about this truth, and she looked into it, and then she told me, and we both looked at the videos, and it was just like the scales, you could just feel them fall. And we looked at each other like, "Mom, did you see? Oh my goodness!" And after that, it was nonstop. And then, you know, I found the GoCC, you guys online doing the lessons, and my mom actually found a location in LA where we can gather, and everything just took off so seamlessly.
Come on.
That's the question. I heard Hosea 2:16 in a song, so I caught myself trying to do the research on my own and going into the Strongs and everything, and I was a little confused about the "thou shalt call me" issue. So I went in the Strongs, and that says saving, and then it said the word origin was Yasha. So is that like the same as Yeshaya?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of like transferred?
Exactly, it's transferred. That's why the concordance is linked in. Don't forget, Christ is not just the Savior, He's the bridegroom. So it's like the Most High divorced us, and we are married to another. That's why it means husband. So it's Savior. How will He save us? He will marry Israel. You understand? yeah. It's not confusing because
I was nervous there.
No, that's what He is. He's coming to marry. Don't forget, under the law, death must happen in order for you to marry another. So Israel was dead, destroyed. It was a divorce between us and the Most High. But He had what? He had an exception written in His law. I can take them back if it's a sacrifice, but they would have to marry another. See that? I can take them back under this law because death happened. But they'll marry another. But when it's all finished, after all death and sin is put under Christ's feet, after that 1,000 years, it tells you He's going to turn us back over to the Father. And we'll be all in all. You know? Yeah. Boy, y'all be coming with some people. You know what? To come out of the Christian church to have scholastic questions like that is a deep zone. Because one thing about being in the Gathering of Christ Church or being amongst this body, you know, it gets you in the Word on a scholarly level. I'm not just talking about just everyday people just following the Bible because, you know, it's a religion. Everyone believes because they understand what they're reading and they study what they've been taught. Man, this is what we've been waiting for, especially in the church. So when I see a sister come with questions, I'm like, well, okay, let me get my precepts together. That feels good because you're in the Word. And guess what? Sometimes there's things that I haven't studied yet. And if I run into that, someone bring it to my attention, I'll be like, you know what? I got to get back on you on that. Because now I got to study in those areas also. So I'm not one to say that, you know, if you come up with a question that I haven't ran into yet, to try to answer it because I'm some know-it-all. but I do answer what I know. I'll tell you this though. Those are some serious scholastic questions, and I'm glad we have them within our church. We only have a few more. How much time we have? 30 minutes. Okay, we good. Come on. Yes, sir. No pressure, brother. You play ball?
Yeah.
I can tell. Okay, don't get out in that world and get crunk on us. All right, talk to me. I don't know, they still using crunk or is it something else now? I think I'm showing my age.
Okay, I just want to say I love all y'all.
Look at that bull. What the girls and the women gonna love this dude.
I want to thank my mom, like, for everything she does. Like, without her, I wouldn't even be here. Like,
hold up.
We're 15.
Understand this, as an Israelite, you can only have one wife. Yeah, when you get older, you just make sure you understand that. Jacob already did all that other women stuff for us.
Yeah.
He's putting it out there. He looked like a young Nadar, actually. Look how Nadar looks at this age. Look at him, Nadar. Well, go ahead.
All right. And I want to tell y'all thank you, like, because...
Well, the dog thought he was a pretty boy. He wanted to be Philadelphia.
All right. I'm going to say again. I want to tell y'all thank you because, like, I mean, no.
Come on, get it out.
Yeah. Didn't get out. Okay. I'm nervous.
All right, it's your mic. Go ahead. I'm up here laughing and all that.
All right. I don't know how you use mic properly, so like that. I barely.
I know it's not a basketball.
Yeah.
Come on, boy.
Thank you, and
thank the Most High.
Okay, all seriousness, it's good seeing y'all. It's only just feel real right now because like always seen you in the phone, but like not seeing you face to face.
We're in the flesh. All right. Thank you, my brother. Let me tell you, we just have a lot to do. Now, like I said before, I said it before in the Passover, hey, the churches are going to become better, and we're actually bringing this work into real-time prophecy, which means there's work to do within the church, and also, we're going to be doing what? Getting land, working on our land, having our own organic food, finding out what's going on amongst the body so that we can help people with their gifts. Israelites, Gentiles, everyone in the church. Hey, what we're doing is we're not just talking about the kingdom. You understand? Now that we've already done the impossible, hey, we can bring the kingdom. We've already did beyond anything I thought could happen. So now I'm ready to say, you know what? Let's make it real time. Then. You know, when Jewish people get together, they get in the synagogue, their accountants get with this guy and that guy and say, we're going to take this piece, we're going to take this contract, we're going to do this. Well, we're going to do this amongst ourselves. We're going to find out who have the gifts, and instead of going out, outsourcing for things, we're going to find out who can do it within us and give it to them. That's the next phase. That's what we did with the sewing department up in New York now. We are supporting 4 Healthy Minds in New York. These are all Gathering Christ Church members' enterprises. Instead of them working on a job, listen, the sister stood up one day and said, listen, I like to sew. I'm like, you know what? You're going to sew our garments. Now she's flying from South Carolina to New York in a week, and now she's going to be doing the patterns that go out throughout the whole earth for the church. That's her job now. You understand? So it's not about talking about being an Israelite. If we can't bring forth the kingdom, we just talk.
That's right.
Everybody talking about the white man, white man, white man. Well, guess what? The white man was willing to fight, die, and stand and build an empire as a pilgrim. What are you willing to do?
Come on.
Don't talk about somebody else unless you're willing to get off your behind
and do more than they did to get what they received. No one is stopping us. Right? Come on. Let's go.
That's right.
How you doing, my man? All right, all right. I know your daughters are tripping out. Y'all never seen nothing like this in your life, have you? Oh, the little one is asleep. That's what she was doing years ago. Come on, talk to me.
Okay.
All right, we're running out of time. We got 30 minutes, but come on, we're going to try to speed it up now. Come on.
Okay, I won't take longer than 30 minutes.
It's the call right here.
Okay, I just wanted you to know the power that's behind Israel and inside Israel. I got so hungry, you wanted to know who the two houses of Israel were. So I started looking on YouTube. I found something, and this brother says, after the video, stay away from, please do me a favor, stay away from GoCC. I said, Geo what? Oh, and then,
so he was introduced to the truth by having someone say, stay away from the Gathering of Christ Church. Go on. So that's what I hated. Keep on hating. We will get brothers like this. Go ahead, talk to him.
Yeah, so there's no bad advertising for GoCC. And I just, once I saw GoCC, I said, oh, this is for me. When my family came home, I said, I found what I was looking for, but this is only for me. It's not for you. You keep going to church. My wife and my daughter and my son, this is not for you. But after a while, I had to let them in. I just wanted to let you know that GoCC reached out all the way to New Mexico. Kwame Azariah. Now, this is what he didn't tell you. After he started following the church, he went back to the channel to kind of see what was going on with the guy that said, stay away from the Gathering of Christ Church. And it said this page no longer exists.
That's right.
One more thing, GoCC, all of you out there, GOC is coming to a town or city near you.
My brother. Hey, dog, do you believe this, man? Is it crazy? I mean, because you had to be there in the beginning. Come on now. You couldn't have known that it was going to be this.
Not even close.
Tell the truth. Man, this is you all miracles, man. Come on, sister. We have one more, right?
That's one.
Oh, this is that sister singing boy. You were playing that guitar last night, wasn't you? Lord, give it up for this sister. Man, you know what she did when she started singing? I heard those drums in the back. If you close your eyes and listen to it was a sound of a slave. It brought you back to that time and that element. You understand? I was like, I'm ready to run more. You was talking about it. Come on, sister.
I'd like to say all praises to the Most High in Yeshua's name.
Yeah.
And thank Him for allowing all of us to make it here today safely. And I love each and last one of you. And I came to the truth with my son some years ago. And we was going, my son right here, he met me before.
What is it?
This is him.
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
Yeah, so we started out together. And we was with the Muslims, and we found out that wasn't it. We were with the Jehovah's Witnesses, we found out that wasn't it. So then we went back to the Baptist church, that wasn't it. So then we started trying to study on our own, but then that wasn't it. So then we kept on searching until we found, my son found you, and my companion found you. And so while I was away, they found the church that was here. And my companion came and checked out the church. And the church is really with now with Balaz and the rest of us.
It's going to grow.
Yes. And it's grown since I've been there. And I'd like to thank my daughters and sons because all through the Most High power and your power of teaching Balaz to teach us with Bakar on his side and Ariane and Amawan and all the other brothers that help him and help us. And I just love what you and Lawyer is doing. and reaching out to all of us all over the world. And I just want to say to you, I just thank you so much for just helping us. And I want to present this rock to you because the rock is strong. And when Christ...
Man, I never got a rock before.
It's a rock. When Christ said, Peter, I will be on my rock, because Peter bowed in Barnabas. And so
Man,
the rock
this is
is
nice.
strong. And Lawyer, I have one for you too. I remember when you would say y'all had dreadlocks.
Praise the Most High.
I'm
about to put this under the luggage, huh?
It go under the climb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows what's going to happen in the wilderness? I'm going to have to go after Nephilim. I'll make it work. Don't worry about it. You know, it's found written in the heaven. And because y'all pulled out the rock, given by sisters, we hurled it at the Son of God. Thank you, sister. I appreciate you and your family. What a gift you are.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Thank you. What a gift you are.
Hey, you know what? I'm ready to scream up in here. Like one man said, holler all day long, right? To the power of the Most High. We got what? One more, brother?
That's it. That was the last one.
Last one. And then we're going to turn it back over to Balaz, right? Oh, yeah. How you doing, sir? How you doing? Bless you, brother.
This is surreal. I praise the Most High for my elders. I just wanted to come up here and really give the Most High praise and glory for the family here, for my elders. As the scripture says, you know, that our eyes will see our teachers. And I remember my first Passover with Elder Gabar, and every time I wanted to quit, Elder Gabar was like, you can't do that, brother.
Where do you want to go? I was trying to quit. What else is it?
I'm gonna be honest, I ran to South America. You remember that conversation?
Yep.
But no. And I remember when I came back the first time and I called you crying, and you told me we're gonna do a workout here. I got discouraged, and that's when I left. And when Balaz got in touch with me, it was like, you think you should come back? I'm like, most I have to show me. And then another brother got in touch with me, and then I talked to Elder Gabar. And then you and Elder Iraq called and made it to me, made it straight. And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
All praise to the Most High. And one of the main things I learned, because I see it a lot, is that when the elders come on to us as men to get us right, that they buck against leadership. And that's something that character is very important that I learned from my elders and my brothers, the real men. That even when you get reproved, you still maintain your dignity because the Most High is seeing what manner of person you are. And I thank each and every one of the brothers sitting here that would uphold the truth, and all the women being virtuous women and trying to get back to that virtue, and it's looking beautiful. Because when I came back and I was discouraged and I left, and now, like you said when you see me at the airport, that it's all full circle now, the fruits of the labor. And all praise to Deacon Balaz for never giving up on me.
Love you, man. And real quick, because I know we're at the end of this, right? Just all the elders and deacons that's operating church, man, I need y'all to stand up so I can say to you all, just the leaders, the elders and deacons, y'all can stand up, brother. I want to say thank you, man. Come on. I want to say thank you, brother. The elders and deacons. Because I know how hard it is in these areas. And our people are peculiar people. And doing this work, Satan is attacking us. He's attacking our family. He's attacking our sources. You understand? Sometimes he brings doubt in our minds. And sometimes we want to feel like we want to fall back. And what am I doing all this for? But let me tell you, we have to persevere through this, brothers. And I want to let you know that even though I don't see you all the time, and I don't talk to you all the time, I do appreciate and know what you all are going through. You understand? But I'm going to need you all to stand strong because the congregation you're operating with is going to look at you when you're all together, leading our people out. So I'm going to need you to stand strong, but I need you, brothers and sisters, to give it up for the elders of the Gathering Christ Church. Praise the Most High. Praise the Most High. Take a seat, take a seat, take a seat. I ain't gonna be long. Look, we got 10 minutes. We're not gonna be like the library and give everybody the booth, but listen, I want y'all to know, we tried our hardest, we tried our best. A lot of this stuff we did last minute, and I'm gonna tell y'all, Gathering Christ Church, the power that the Most High used to gather us together and they give us the energy to do what we did this weekend. It was all him. So I got to give glory to him, right? We all got to do it. It sowed a lot of seeds. It sowed a lot of seeds, family. We did a lot. You all did a lot. The Las Vegas church did a lot. We had California helping us out. We had people in AC from what state is he from? DMV. You know, he came all the way out from there. We got people in Texas that's helping us out. We got people everywhere. We trying to build this media-wise. We trying to create our own thing for the church. So that's what's going on. Behind closed doors, we trying to use the spirit that gathered us together to make sure this gospel gets out and everyone is going to take care of. So one thing we need to point out too, there's a bunch of flyers over here on the table. Please take them all. Pass them all out everywhere. Okay? We got Spanish flyers, we got vaccination flyers, we got all kinds of flyers. We need these flyers to go out. Other than that, we good to go. Brothers, let's stand up. Brothers, let's stand up. Marty and Shabbat. Marty and Shabbat. Marty. Okay, some of y'all don't know. Okay, but it wasn't loud enough. It wasn't loud. That was nothing. Marty and Shabbat. Handle that. Okay. Lock your arms, lock your hands in. Okay, when you come with your legs should be separated. Okay? When I say Marty, you bring it in and smack it. Okay? When I say Marty, you bring it in, boom. Real tough. Okay? Come? God. All right. Marty. There we go. Marty Shabbat. Marty.
Come on now, we gotta pray now. We ain't doing no drills up in there.
Okay. Barak, hit your chest. All right. Okay, let's Marty Shabbat. Marty. Barak. Salute. Ahaya Bashimishai Barakatah.
Ahaya Bashimishai Barakatah.
Salute.
Ahaya Bashimishai Barakatah.
Salute.
Ahaya Bashimishai Barakatah.
All right, all praise to the Most High. All praise. Let's take prayer.
Ahaya, Bahasham, Yeshaya, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen.
All right, brothers, y'all fold up the chairs. Make sure y'all hang them up over there. Okay. Break down these tables.
Okay, we did the prayer, but there was a sister at the very end and the brother that needed prayer. While y'all filing out, I can do the prayers for those two individuals, the brothers and sisters that needed that prayer. Myself and the lawyer and the elders can do that for you now.
Brothers, please be very quick. Put them chairs up, hang them up on, bring them racks out. Break down these tables. Y'all make sure y'all grab them flyers over there. Spread them all throughout the four corners of the earth.
Yes.
If you
come
want,
in handy.
we will post a video for yesterday. It's coming soon. If you got ties in an envelope, please bring it up to the front. If you got ties in an envelope, please bring it up to the front. Pull the racks out from. Pull the racks out. Pull the chair racks out.
Question to ask you. I asked it through the